Oh, shit. What is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast, alongside the homie
Jim from the Fan in the Van Podcast.
Oh, thank you.
A couple days away from the big game, baby. Jim is coming on location.
Yep.
Real quick, Jim, where you at?
Everybody knows where I'm at. South Shore Cigar Lounge.
And, of course, we're bringing the heat. We got a full freaking backstage right now. Holy shit. Are you guys ready? We're about to introduce the crew. This is probably the most people we've ever had on Cigars and Sports. Look at this. Look at this group of individuals here, man. Jim, these are most of your homies, even though I watch all their podcasts. Please allow us the honor to introduce our guest for today, my friend.
Oh, man, this is like looking at the beginning of the fucking Brady Bunch. Holy shit. My God. Well, of course, we got Brent and Dave from the legendary 1420 Sports with us, as well as Aaron from Brutally Honest, who I'm sure is upset that the Niners are even in the Super Bowl, which is why he's battling the stomach bug that he has.
I was there 3 weeks ago, bro. It sucks ass.
Not fun. Not fun.
Yeah.
Thanks
How
for
are you,
that,
boys?
Gentlemen.
Hello, everybody, from the parking lot of a Super 8 motel in Tabor, Alberta.
Oh, the home of all the freaking axe murderers and all the serial killers you could find in good old Canada. That's
Oh, it's going down, yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be pretty bad. Gentlemen, welcome, Brent, Dave, Aaron. We appreciate you guys having on. And listen, we are gonna get busy today. All things Super Bowl. I know everybody here is like, it's like Christmas, right? It's 2 Christmas days when it comes to a football fan in my book. Week 1 of the NFL, and then what we're gonna experience in a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? So, oh man, how are you guys feeling about the big game?
I'm excited for this game. This is going to be one of the better games, I think, in my opinion, that's happened in a long time. I don't think there's a clear-cut winner, so I think it's one of those games where you're like, you know what, we're onto something here, and this can be one of those ones that we'll remember when we're older podcasters 20 years from now, if you talk about the same damn game 20 years from now, for sure.
Any, what about you? Go ahead, Dave.
Well, no, I agree. This ought to be a close game. It's Kansas City refuses to get blown out, and they showed last year. I forget who they're playing last year in the Super Bowl, but they overcame a pretty big deficit at halftime to vanquish that green team.
Brent, there's one thing you and I are gonna get off on the wrong foot. I'm a Giants fan, bro. But anyway, everybody's welcome in this show. Go ahead, man.
There we go.
What do you think, man? What is your first thought on the game?
I think. Oh, sorry,
Aaron.
What's that? Oh, Aaron. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'm intrigued by it. I mean, it's to me, it's the battle of the evils for me. Like, I really don't like either team whatsoever. You could almost, this could have been any other matchup. I'd probably be happier, but at the end of the day, I mean, I still want the Chiefs to pull this out. I mean, it does scare me because everybody's picking the Chiefs, so I almost want to think the Niners are going to win for that fact. But yeah, I don't know. I'll be interested to see if the Chiefs can get some pass rush on Purdy and see if he can really show up when if they're really in his face all night.
I'm going contrarian, man. I'm going with the 49ers. I think it's time. Kyle Shanahan has been on the receiving end of 2 really bad Super Bowls, right? One as an OC, as a head coach a couple of years ago against these damn Chiefs. But I think he might pull it off this year, and they're due for one in my book. And the fact that everybody's like flipped that script with the Kansas City Chiefs, who are right now, in my book, the new, Patriots. There they are, bro. 4 Super Bowls in 6 seasons. Fucking, they don't have a great team, but they pull it off and they make it to the Super Bowl.
They don't have a great team. They're a great quarterback, and that matters a lot, E-Man. That's the biggest thing out there. And the thing is with the Niners, me and Dave talked about last night on our show, is that if not this year for 49ers, then when? Like, then when? Like, what are you going to do? If you don't pull it off this year, if Shanahan doesn't pull it off, does management in San Francisco say, you know what? We put a team around you. We put everything we could possibly do. We have a quarterback who's not making a lot of money, and then all of a sudden they go, you know what? like, what are we gonna do next year? We're fucked next year. It's all of a sudden we got to pay Purdy $30 million to $700,000. It's not next year, but the year after. You guys know what I mean. So it's just like, okay, so if we don't get this done this year, then what? Like free agency and everything else that happens within football. You're like, okay, well, we didn't get one. Good, because Mahomes ain't going anywhere. Like he this might be 4-6, right? So if he ain't going nowhere, then what? Like the whole AFC is already shitting their pants, saying we're not going to do. We already can't beat this team. So now the NFC's got to be thinking we can't beat these guys.
Look, they are built.
It's time for Kyle Shanahan to finish the story.
I think so too.
He's the Cody Rhodes of football.
So, look, with that being said, yeah, they're built to win now. They were built to win last year, right? They just ran into a rough patch, Brock Purdy getting injured. I'm not going to say that they would have been the Eagles, but, who knows, right? But at the end of the day, this is their second time. They finally made it to the big game. A little different than most people do. My thing is that they haven't played a great game yet, complete game like they used to in these playoffs. So they're due, and I think this time Kyle Shanahan's going to come prepare, and it's going to be a team effort because that's the way the 49ers win. And honestly, I think Brock Purdy has enough juice in that tank if his players are there and healthy to probably pull it off. So I'm going with the talent, and I know the greatest quarterback right there is playing, but also the greatest quarterback lost against the Giants twice and didn't have a better team. So
that's just it. Like it's like
Brady lost
twice. Brady lost twice, right? So it could happen. Like everybody's picking the Chiefs, but I'm with you, E-Man, that I really think that this is the year the Niners actually do it. Yep. And on it goes, and the conspiracy theories, when we'll get into that later, I'm fairly certain we will for sure. It's the way us morons always talk, but it's one of those things you just go, this is the year the Niners are going to do it. Like the spreads, it's basically a pick 'em. I can't see why the Niners would lose this game. Like Aaron or Jim or E-Man or Dave, like what would make the other than the X factor, which is Mahomes, what makes the Chiefs that much better than the Niners?
I think like Mahomes is gonna have to work harder to get down the field on that Niners defense because of obviously the front with Bosa and Hargrave coming over from the Eagles last year and everybody and Fred Warner, like they have just people everywhere. I obviously, if anybody can do it, Mahomes is the guy that can do it. But Purdy, like I do think this Chiefs defense is really good. It's people say it's great. I don't, I kind of have hesitation to go that far, but it's gonna be. I think it's just a matter of getting the ball out of Purdy's hands fast. I mean, like E-Man and Brent and Dave and everybody, like it's a matter of I'm drawing a blank already, but yeah, the Niners, like they just need to get the ball in their playmakers' hands. Like that's when they're lethal. I mean, if McCaffrey gets going, it's going to be a two-headed monster because then it's like if you can't stop him, who else is going to get the ball out of the backfield? Where's Purdy going to go? Like there's just going to be so much to account for the Chiefs. I still I'm never going to doubt Mahomes, especially this year going on the road and going. I mean, everybody picked Baltimore to basically steal them into the Super Bowl, and they had home field advantage, bye week, everything else, and they came out flat, and Mahomes just made more plays than Lamar made. So at the end of the day, like it's going to be a matter of who makes more plays, but if the Chiefs defense kind of struggles against McCaffrey or, if they're getting beat in the passing game, then it's going to set up the running game. Like it's just a lot you got to account for. I think that pass rush, like I said, it's going to be super, super important for the Chiefs to get that pass rush early and often and knock Purdy down as many times as they possibly can.
Yeah, let me throw some comparisons to you guys, and then you can definitely give me your reactions, right? All right, let's go some quick comparisons, right? Offense, 49ers at the second-ranked offense, right? The Chiefs are number 9, and we know why. It's Travis Kelce and a bunch of plumbers after that. You got the defense, number 2 defense in the league, the Chiefs, number 8 defense, the 49ers. Passing, 4, the 49ers, 6, Chiefs. Pretty much a wash right there. Rushing, of course, the 49ers are 3rd in the league, and this is where they struggle. This is where the Chiefs struggle. Even though Pacheco is a hell of a running back, they're 19th in the run. So what do you guys think? Where do you see a little bit of advantage? And let's go in my book, let's start with the Chiefs. What do you think out of these categories? You think the Chiefs can kind of get close to the Niners or be better than the Niners to kind of make this game, pull this game off?
Passing.
Okay.
It's the pass.
Hold on. Let me get our
lost
boy
you.
back here. Yeah, hey, he's back. He's back. It happens. It's he's
I mean, I don't. It's easy to stop Kelsey. All you got to do is put all you got to do is put a corner on him and a safety behind him. All he does is just run and pops out. That's it. That's all he fucking does. It's not hard to stop that. I'm not a defensive coordinator. I just figured it out in less than 10 seconds.
that's the problem. Nobody stops him. I don't get it. You know, they don't stop it. They show the same thing. And Kelsey's getting what he's got, like 4 touchdowns in the playoffs and like fucking 30 receptions so far. Had 11 in the championship game. And I still don't get it.
Well, he's doing it all for Taylor, the love of his life.
Oh, fuck that.
But no one's
had to bring
stopping
it up.
him. Like he's coming. He might be one of the best ever already. Like it's one of those things. Like it's just no one's stopping you. Yeah, it's easy to say that this is what you should do, but no one's done it yet. It's not that it's all Kelsey, but it's who his quarterback is. Right? It can't hurt. It can't hurt when you have a really good quarterback throwing to you. It makes your life easier. When you have a shitty quarterback throwing to you, it's hard.
Yep.
And it works for Kelsey. Say what you want about the guy. You can go back 30 years. Like how good would X receiver or X tight end been if their quarterback wasn't good, right? Like the quarterback drives the whole thing. It drives the whole entire.
And to Jim's point, like it's not so much just covering Kelsey on the route. It's Mahomes is kind of like that Big Ben in the fact that like the play's never over. Like he's escaping 2 guys. He's throwing the ball underhanded. He's sidearm. Like until you get him to the ground, Kelsey's running around. Eventually, Kelsey's going to get open. Boom, there it is. First, just when you think the play's over, there's another first down. It's hard to stop. Play in and play out like that.
Now, if there's a linebacker that can stick Kelsey, is Fred Warner. All right, think about it.
Yeah.
I don't think any matchup he's had up till now has been probably as well matched and more equal than this one. I think Fred is a complete fucking stud and an athlete that can maybe be able to probably. I don't think it's gonna stop Kelsey 100%, but I don't think he's gonna get 11 fucking receptions or 10 or something like that.
Well, you could use Fred Warner in a spy situation too. That's another factor that Warner could play in as well.
Now, 49ers, we know they struggle stopping the run. I think that's where that's a part of the game where I think the Chiefs needs to do something. And unfortunately, it's just Pacheco because then you got what? Saint Hilaire, and McKinnon, and I forget who the third string running back is. So it's going to be tough. I know they're going to make it rough on McCaffrey to get yards. They did in the previous game with the Lions, but they have 3 better running backs. Jordan Mason is just probably a norm. Could be the second string in any team right now, and even number 1. And then you have Elijah Mitchell, who's been hurt most of his career, but the guy's also another baller. So I think it's going to be one of those games that we're going to see a lot of methodical approach to it when he comes from the ground. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I can see that.
Dave is muted, I think. I could hear. Dave, you good? We can't hear you.
Well, let's turn into a wreck. Whatever.
There we go. It's not curling, dude. Hold on. We can't hear you, buddy.
What a wreck. Anyways, the thing with McCaffrey, I personally think that McCaffrey is going to be the MVP of this game. I think that he's going to be the guy that's going to put the Niners over the top. He's that good of a player, and it wasn't that long ago. I listened to everybody's shows here that people were anointing McCaffrey to be the next MVP this year. Back in week 8, 9, and everything else it was, and you look at it's just Lamar Jackson took over at the end of the season, but look where he's watching on Sunday. And McCaffrey's that guy. He's that good. He's that good. You go back to his Stanford days, he's that good. And he's the guy that's going to be the turning point in this Super Bowl, I think, or the big game, because you can't see Super Bowl, you get sued for, I don't know what they're going to take from us, jokers, but whatever. Just it's one of those things. I really think that McCaffrey's going to be the X factor in this football game.
I think so too. I agree with that. But McCaffrey can do it both ways. This guy had over 2,000 all-purpose yards this year, 23 touchdowns. Even though he had a bad game against the Ravens, he still had 90 yards, had 30-something or 40-something over the catching. Catching 4 or 5 receptions. I think he's got to get his yards. He's got to get into the end zone one way or the other multiple times in this game.
Well, for them to win, he's going to.
Dave, we can't hear you, Dave. We can't.
Hit the reset button.
Yeah. Why don't you come in and out? Come in and out. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, those fucking Canadian edibles are hitting him hard.
Yeah, he
More than likely.
He took a couple.
I know how Dave rolls, so yeah, more than likely. Yeah.
No, honestly, look, I think I don't think this is going to be like a blowout at all. I think honestly, it's going to be a slow-paced game, even though they got high-potent offense, because I think the defense is going to try to slow this down. I mean, Kansas City is going to try to do everything possible to slow this game down because it's to their advantage. And there we go. Hey, Dave,
can you hear me now?
There we go. All right.
Oh,
what were you
about
saying?
That I just went off the Bluetooth. You guys were mentioning how important the passing game is, and I completely agree. But as far as San Francisco is concerned, it's always with the yards after catch, and the Spagnuolo has been doing a great job with this Kansas City defense, especially in his second half adjustments. And if San Francisco is up to the task, I think they can dominate, because Kansas City hasn't seen an offense as dynamic with so many weapons like San Francisco. And you guys are also mentioning the running backs. And don't forget, Deebo Samuel's not afraid to take a handoff here and there too. And that fucking run.
Deebo is the key. If you notice, when Deebo went down, their offense struggles, right? Because Deebo is just that guy that Shanahan has great plays for, whether it's a sweep around. He's just a monster. Deebo can be 3 different positions in this league: wide receiver, running back, and tight end. You know what I mean? Because if you notice the way he plays, he is the key. He's my sneaky pick for MVP.
I got CMC. No one hits the fucking line like that guy. He goes from 0 to 100 in 3 steps, and then if he gets through that line, he's gone. So I got McCaffrey as the potential MVP of tomorrow's, Sunday's game.
People actually forget how good the Chiefs defense actually is, though. Like, everybody talks about Mahomes and Kelsey because that's the flavor of the week, but they didn't give up any points to Baltimore, right? And Lamar Jackson was the guy who was supposed to put up 1,050 points every night, and he didn't, right? And they stopped him. Like, that's because of the defense. It had nothing to do with Mahomes, nothing to do with Kelsey. They gave up 0 points against the MVP this year because quarterbacks win football games, but that defense is so good. This game is going to be, for some reason, I think it's going to be high scoring, just because I think that there's going to be a couple of guys on each side that go above and beyond. I think you're going to have Mahomes going to go above and beyond what's going on there. I think you're going to have a game that's going to be a high scoring, but that one stop is going to be the big difference early.
Go ahead.
If San Francisco doesn't stop Kansas on their first 2 drives, Kansas City's going to win by 25.
Well, here's the thing: San Francisco cannot come out flat like it has in the last 2 games, right? In the playoffs, they do that, they lose the game.
Yeah, if they play from behind, to E-Man, to your point, like if they play behind, like they did to Green Bay and like they did to Detroit, which Detroit should forever. I don't care. All their fans are like, "Oh, we're ecstatic. We got the NFC Championship." Like, you absolutely choked to the fullest. You know what I mean? Like, that was a colossal choke job. So like E-Man, like to your point, if you get down to the Chiefs, if I'm the Chiefs, I'm just putting the foot on the gas and I'm trying to put up 35 on you real quick, just because. You can never have too many points in this league. And like you saw, I mean, to Detroit's credit, they tried to go for points, but not where they should have. Like, they could have just taken the points that were right in front of them, boom, separate the gap a little bit. And then we might be talking about a Kansas City Lions Super Bowl.
I don't know how you guys do math down there in the United States, but when you have more points, you have more points. It always helps. Like up here in Canada, we just add like 1, 1, 3, 6, whatever it might be. Why the fuck, E-Man, I want to ask you this question. Why, if you were the coach of the Detroit Lions, do you kick a field goal or do you go for the first down?
So I'm going to give you my take on analytics, right? And they're saying that when you go for 2, right? When you go for 2 instead of the field goal, it's a new thing to do. See, when you go for it, right, and you don't kick the field goal, there's a thing that I like to look at, right? What's my opposition? If I'm playing the fucking New York Giants, I'm going for 2, up by 24. All right, but you're playing the 49ers, I am going to take the field goal, right? Because that'll be 27, right? That's number 1. Because remember, when they went for it again in the second half, and even if they would have gone for it at least one out of the 2 times, we would have been, we would have gone to overtime. And it's stupid because think about it, it's who you're matched up against with, right? If I have a really good defense that I can stop that next team, right? Then I'm gonna go for 2. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go on 4th down. I'm gonna do that. But in this case, if I'm in the field goal range, I'm fucking going for it, man. I'm taking the field goal, taking the points. I mean, it would have been a 6-point win. Think about it, right?
You can never have too many points. Never.
That second fucked up call that Big Balls Dan, who the Big Balls fucked him over in this game, was a 10-point swing. And they came back around and scored. You know what 100%. I mean? So, and I was never worried about that 49ers team after they kept going for a fucking 4th down with the Lions because you knew that the 49ers can put up points. And in the second half.
It's almost like Dan Campbell said, here, we don't want this. We don't want to go to the Super Bowl. Here's Kyle Shanahan. You have the game. You take it. And you go face Patrick Mahomes because if we go, we're going to get blown out by them. So we don't want to be embarrassed. And, we don't want to be embarrassed in the Super Bowl. And whoever gets offended by me calling it the Super Bowl, you could sue me. I own nothing. And that's that. You never, in a big game like that, leave points on the table. You always take them. It's simple. It's as simple as 2 + 2 = 4. No matter how you try to break it down, it's always going to be 4. So you kick the field goal there. And I can understand going for that. It's week 7 and you're playing the fucking Jets.
Play the Giants.
But in the NFC Championship game, that game, first off, was a tale of 2 different teams and 2 different halves. The way the Lions came out in the first half was the way the Niners came out in the second half. And it's like they role reversed. And then the Lions just came out flat. And it's like they went away from what was working in the first half, like what Baltimore did against the Chiefs. They got away from everything that got them to the dance. And that's why Baltimore lost.
That might be the situation coming up this weekend. You have Andy Reid, old school coach, who will take the points when given to him. And you have Shanahan analytics and a younger guy. He might go, well, we should go for it. Like that might be like the actual a situation there. You don't know what's going on because it's just analytics have taken over sports. You guys all know that.
Yep.
And sometimes the feel of the game, no matter what sport you're talking about, the feel of the game gets lost a lot. It gets lost a ton. And Reid might take those points and go, yeah, we have the best quarterback on the planet right now, but 3 points, still 3 points. If you have more points, you have more points. Where Shanahan is more progressive thinking with everything else. I think that might be a huge factor on Sunday. Huge.
Well, the fact, E-Man, you mentioned it right off the top, E-Man, that San Francisco hasn't played their best game yet. And the fact that San Fran had to come from behind and played tough games in the fourth quarter, I think that might make such a huge thing with taking chances and who's gonna make that fucking play. There's gonna be points scored. 90% of the points are gonna be in the second half, and like any game that we ever see, it's which coach, especially defensive coordinator, who's going to make the adjustments that's going to deliver their team win.
Absolutely. All right, go ahead, Aaron.
No, I mean, just to piggyback off what everybody had said. I mean, it's like we've seen Shanahan in this position now. Obviously, this will be the third time. Twice before, like the Falcons, you have a 28-3 lead, and you're not playing for the points. You're being reckless on third down. You have short conversions you can make, and you're trying to go for the home run. And then we see, this same matchup years ago with the Chiefs and 49ers, same coaches on both sides. They have a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, and they find a way to piss it away. So, I mean, to me, if he didn't learn from those two experiences before, I would get him like psychologically analyzed, because it's like, for fuck's sake, you had it in your hands twice and you let it slip. That's almost worse than not going at all, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, like if you're the Niners, play to your strength. The strength is the running game, the slants over the middle of the field, hitting Kittle on all those routes that he can run, the route tree, and everybody else. But at the end of the day, like if it comes down to Shanahan, quote unquote, fumbling this game away, I mean, I would be absolutely livid as a Niners fan. Not that I am, but it's that to me is going to be very interesting if this game's close in the fourth quarter, how he calls the game and what it kind of how it plays out for the Niners on offense in general.
Think about this, right? Kyle Shanahan has produced 3 head coaches in this league, and it hasn't won a fucking Super Bowl yet. You know what I mean? That's a pretty great accomplishment, because the dude knows his shit, right? He comes from a pedigree of coaching, his dad, you know what I mean? So like you said, and I agree with you 100%, if he hasn't learned from the 2 fuck-ups before, then yeah. And I think he's not that stupid. So let's compare Campbell and Shanahan. I'll do keck stats with Campbell any fucking day of the week. That's that kind of guy. Kyle Shanahan is the guy I'm going to cheat over in my math fucking test. You know what I'm saying, dude? So those are the 2 kind of coaches you're looking over here. What I'm trying to say, one guy's a lot smarter than the other one. I think Kyle Shanahan should be able to match up from a scheme standpoint, a pedigree coaching with Andy Reid, who is absolutely one of the greatest coaches to ever do it. Think about this. Andy Reid was, if he looks himself in the mirror, he sees Kyle Shanahan before he got Patrick Mahomes. Great coach, going to the Super Bowl with Devin McNabb, always making the playoffs, but always fell short. So that's when I compare both those guys. I think coaching wise, yes, you got a guy here who's getting to GOAT status in Andy Reid, and you got an up and coming guy who's fucking insanely smart. And I think it's something got to give for the 49ers. I think Shanahan has to pull this off, and he should pull this off based on his experience of failure.
They have to pull it off this year, because the window's closing with all the guys they have now.
Oh, no, dude,
because you're going to lose a lot of them in free agency. You're going to lose a lot.
You have to win this year. There's no next year.
No, it's like
so
Dan Campbell.
do we actually give coach too much credit? Honestly. Because you just said that Reid couldn't get it done with Donovan McNabb. We saw how Belichick didn't do a fucking thing without Brady.
Yep.
Then we talk about how Reid's a great coach with Mahomes. On and on it goes. Do we give coaches too much credit? Because at the end of the day, it's the players who are doing it. Because you could script, you could script an entire game. Do this, do this, do this, do this. So, well, if the script doesn't work, do I just fall down? Yeah, fuck, I'm done.
Hey,
no, the players make the fucking game. And I think, I honestly believe, and Dave and I argue this all the time, I think NFL coaches get way too much credit. Way too much credit for what they do. And it's the players doing what's got to happen on the field, and no matter what, like if a guy misses a tackle, he missed tackle, so I just give up. Coaches get way too much credit in the National Football League. Way too much.
I think you have to have a mixture of both. For like the ideal situation.
You can't have any of us 5 coaches in the fucking team, but I understand that. But
I don't know. I think some of us 5 collectively could come up with a better game plan than some of these coaches. But
they're fucking Dan Campbell for the sakes, you know.
I think Jim would agree with us. Like, we could probably build a better playbook than Matt Canada had for the Steelers. This season.
I already have drawn up a better playbook than him. And it doesn't include 5 fucking sweeps either.
And speaking from experience, I think we could coach better than Joe Judge, who got a fucking head coaching job with the Giants 1 year. That's saying a lot, bro. You know what I mean? So,
but to kind of like to go back to Brent's thing, though, coaches do get more credit than the players do. But if you look at it from this standpoint, if you take Belichick and Brady, who made who? Right? Tom Brady made Bill Belichick who he is. Right now, Mahomes is making Andy Reid that greatest coach of all.
And here,
so you can give the coaches credit for coming up with good game plans, but but what people fail to see, and if I'm not mistaken, hindsight's 2020 here. The players are the ones who have to execute, and if they don't execute, the players don't always necessarily get the blame for it. The coaches do.
Oh shit! Dave got his fucking curling. What you call that? Stick, sweep, broom. What is that called? What is that called? Is that a squeegee to like fucking wash windows? What the fuck is that?
I thought it was a fucking cane.
So
can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Sorry to digress, but are you guys playing for money? That's my number. Yeah. All right. There we go. See that? Now that's just interesting. Now, man.
So here we are in the Tabor Curling Club. I'll just give you guys because I gotta jet. I gotta get ready for the game.
Give us a little preview, man. This is what we do over here, man. We fucking improv to everything in the fucking lives.
So this is a 4-sheet rink here in Tabor, Alberta. I don't know what sheet we'll be on. There's our registration desk.
That's a nice,
it's a tiny little thing, and then there's the those are overhead cameras to the spectators.
Yeah,
all five.
She's
all
high
five
tech
of
up
them.
here in Alberta. I tell you what.
That shit's fucking live, baby. Look at that shit.
Yeah, this is a smaller town, about 6,000 people, but a 30-minute drive from where Brent and I live. But and now, here I'll give you.
Yeah, that's because hey, the other 6,000 are here in South Florida, fucking living here 6 months out of the year for winter. All right, you know how many Canada plates I see every fucking day when I go to work, man? It's insane. I went camping last week, man, and let me tell you something. Every single RV in that campsite was a Canadian plate. There's a few sprinkled Jersey in New York and Philadelphia, whatever. I mean, they love it down here. They're here for 6 months, bro.
No,
I have no doubt. Why not?
Yeah, I don't blame them either, man. I mean, I'll be fucking down here too. You know what I mean?
It's either Florida or in our neck of the woods. It's all Arizona. Is where the people would go from our neck of the woods. Sorry, you guys can continue. I'll be jetting off here right quick.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, in case you jet off, we appreciate you jumping on, man. I know you have your big curling tournament. Much luck to you. Much success. Hope you win some money. All right, and I don't know what else to say because I have no fucking idea what curling is.
Is it get scrubbing or something like that?
Yeah, they're gonna.
It's shuffleboard on ice.
There we go.
That's what it is.
I don't play that shit either, man.
Well, you're not old yet. You're getting there, though. The next cruise you go on, EMAT, shuffleboard. It's shuffleboard, man.
Yeah, it is. You know.
Well, I'm going to jet, guys. Thanks for having me on. Sorry I couldn't stay longer, and
good, man.
I'll listen to the rest of the show.
We'll do it next time, all right? Take care, buddy.
Right on. Okay.
All right. So going back to the coaching aspect, right? And I think you're right. The coaches get a lot of credit, but when you compare what Kyle Shanahan has done with Jimmy fucking Garoppolo, all right? I mean, that guy should not have made a Super Bowl, all right? It was all the pieces. One thing I like about Kyle Shanahan and Andy Reid, they do make they're great schemers, right? They do create a great system in place where if they get the right quarterback or the right tools of the teams, like, for example, see, you got the quarterback. He does everything else. With the 49ers is what Debo can do, right? It's what Kittle can do. It's what CMC can do, Christian McCaffrey can do. You got Brandon in the back, Brandon Ayuk in the back going deep, right? Let me tell you, Jawan Jennings is having a hell of a postseason, and that's my sleeper pick. So it's the way he uses his teams. Because, Brock Purdy, if he gets drafted by the Giants, he is fucking Tommy DeVito, all right?
It's like actually irrelevant, 100%.
Right? He's Tommy DeVito. You know what I'm saying? In this offense, and don't get me wrong, I'm a Purdy fan because the dude has some great intangibles, all right, that most quarterbacks don't have, right? He's a guy that's tough. He's actually not stupid. He knows how to read well. He's short, doesn't have a strong arm. But in this particular system and scheme, the guy is thriving because he's able to use those skill set to kind of complement all the other position players who are fucking studs. So this is where I give Kyle Shanahan the credit for putting this thing together. But yeah, absolutely. If Patrick Mahomes is in the fucking 49ers, this is a fucking 40-point blowout.
That's the thing too, man. Like there's teams out there that like how good would Justin Fields look like on the San Francisco 49ers? He'd probably be a fucking amazing. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta. That's the thing too. Like, and I know I kind of talk about my team a lot, but I think with Kyle Shanahan coaching the Eagles offense, it would look a million times better. Because
Absolutely.
we don't, like, half the time our whole stadium has to tell our coaching staff to run the ball because they won't run the ball for 2 or 3 quarters straight. Like common sense shit like that. And I think a lot of these organizations are run analytically. Like Brent talks about it a lot on his show. I know that he bangs the drum that the Yankees use analytics too much. And there is no.
Let's not fucking talk about those assholes.
There's
whatever.
Like there's too much of like the nerds.
I'm a Yankee guy, obviously, man. I'm a Yankee guy, but
they're fucking killing us, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh,
that's a comparison I can make is like Brent, like you guys articulated so well, is like, hey, have a feel for the game. Like it's the third quarter, you're up, run the ball, try and milk some clock off of there. These coaches just get like, okay, well, if it's 4th and 6 at the whatever yard line, we're gonna throw a 15-yard pass because that's what we've looked at in analytics, and it's this percent and that. Like, have a feel for the game. Like, if you have McCaffrey in that backfield, give it to him. He's a horse. Like, just make him work for those yards. And it's just like that shit will infuriate any fan base. And like, I watch games of like the Eagles, and I'm just like, how can we sit on the couch as fans and at least have a better idea of the feel of the game than a guy standing on the sidelines? And it's probably not even him. That's the real problem. Like a lot of Yankees fans think Aaron Boone's not the problem. He's controlled. He's a messenger, or our head coach is a messenger. You know what I mean? So that's the shit that's just like it ruins success. Honestly.
You know, the coach's job is to manage certain parts of the team, right? To make sure that the players are in the right place at the right time, the plays are executed the way that he calls them, and you also got to have some, time management, clock management, shit like that. That's what they're there for, and that's I think where a good coach that has a good head over their shoulders will be able to perform that if he has it. But if he doesn't have the players that can make that fucking sidearm 40-yard pass like Patrick Mahomes does, shit doesn't work well. You know what I mean? So it's a combination of both. But I think when you have a generational talent like Patrick Mahomes, it's a whole lot easier to look good, or Tom Brady, right? That kind of.
It's easy to be a great coach when you got a like 6 years in Hall of Fame quarterback. I would be the best coach ever if he's my quarterback.
That's true.
I think we'd all be.
It's actually that simple. Like Mahomes, like we're all touting the Niners are going to win this week, and I still think they will. But Mahomes will just change a game around on his own. Like he never seems frazzled. He never seems to get anything. He never gets hit too hard. Like he just seems like he's fine. He's always fine and level-headed. And this game is actually going to be, if Mahomes is great, the Niners don't stand a chance. I think it's that simple. I really do. And it's shitty to say because I would rather see the Niners win. But I think if Mahomes is great, the fucking Niners don't stand a chance. They don't, because he's that good. He will play a game, okay, where we need if they have 15 points, we'll score 18. If they have 25, we'll score 26. I think that he's that good. Like
absolutely. And I think this is the issue, man. Looking at it from both sides. And at the end of the day, the cream is gonna rise to the top, right? The quality is always gonna be better on the product that you buy, right? You know what I'm saying? You pay what you get for it. And Mahomes is worth every fucking dime in this world. I mean, it's like no doubt about it. But there's one thing to be said that, man, I don't think he's ever played with a dismal bunch of guys as a position player, right? It's like even last year, Juju did a lot better than any. I know Juju, your boy, did a lot better than any other fucking wide receiver they had.
USC guy Juju, I love Juju. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Rashid Rice took on that percentage, that he took on later in the season. But I think look, Kyle Shanahan has all the tools to keep Mahomes in check, like Bruce Arians did when Brady and the Bucks beat him a couple of years ago. Right? Think about it. It was that defense. I think if you and they have the horses in the front line, and I think their secondary matches well with their shitty fucking wide receivers. So I give the edge there. So Kyle Shanahan cannot fuck this up from a matchup standpoint, and this player's got to come and produce and make sure they do what they need to do.
The one thing you have to do, and it's the same thing you had to do with guys like Manning, Peyton, or Eli, Ben, even Brady, there's one key factor here in order to beat them. Keep them off the field. You got to keep them off the field because once they touch the field, if they're down and they have that mentality in them that like, hey, you know what? You just put up 7 points on us. I'm coming back and I'm putting 7 up on you. That's it. So the Niners offensively are going to have to eat a lot of clock in order to keep Mahomes off the field because you saw last year what Mahomes did in 13 seconds against the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yep.
Fucking never should have happened. And then Bills fans whine and cry. We get a new overtime rule.
And go ahead.
And
Brent.
that's one thing I think gets lost a lot. I think that the game of football has changed so much for whatever reason. Analytics, like E-Man we just talked about, is that you get guys who they score too quick, or they don't eat clock, and they do different things. We talked about Aaron, you were on our show a couple weeks ago. There, I don't think there's a feel for the game. Like you get back 100 years, whatever it's been. Like, don't score too quick. Eat clock, because like football is one of those games. It's not baseball where you need 3 outs. You need to eat clock. Clock actually matters, and you have possession of the ball to make sure it matters. And I honestly believe that's been lost for some reason. I've never played a game of football in my life. Never once. Never ever. I know that if you have the ball for longer, the other team can't score.
Most of the time, that definitely does work. Yeah.
If you have the ball in your possession, the other team can't score. And that's been lost a lot in the last 3 years. I don't know why, but that's been the thing. And like I said, I'm a fucking Canadian, 49-year-old man. Never played a game in my life. I know that. Why these guys making $20 million a year can't figure that out? I have no idea. No idea.
And that's the thing. Like in the fourth quarter, you'll see all these teams they'll get pass happy when they don't have to. And I'm like, I understand not everybody wants to play that old school, smash mouth football. Like nobody wants to play that anymore. But like when you have a 3rd and 3 and you're trying to throw it 25 yards, and maybe that's the only guy that's relatively open. But like to Brent, to your point, like 4 or 5 years ago, you weren't seeing it as prevalent as now. And like there'll be games where I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm a little bit skeptic. Are they trying to keep this spread on a certain point differential? Because it's like, all right, it's 4th down. We could easily just try and get this 1st down, and we're gonna bomb it downfield and then not get it, and then we're gonna punt it to the other team. I don't want to be that conspiracy type guy.
And then if you punt, it's further away from your end zone.
Yeah,
it's not hard. It's not hard to figure out. That's why I think this week is going to come down to that. I think Shanahan's going to overthink himself, and Reed's going to be the good guy because this game is so close with the talent. Shanahan's going to overthink himself, be that guy, and Reed's going to be like, "This is what we do."
I mean, again, they said 3rd time is a charm. If he does what he didn't do in the other 2 games and not overthink it and go with what he knows best and what's been working, then he'll be okay. Pretty much, the team that has the ball in the last remaining minutes, who has the ball last, is going to win this game. If you look at the over-under total, hasn't moved at all fucking week. It stayed in that 47 and a half. And you know what, dude? Never bet against the house. That's why I think this
Vegas
game is
knows.
That's why I don't like to say it's got to go over 47 and a half. I think it's going to stay under for that particular reason. But yeah, man, look. Let me go to the comments real quick. Let me recognize our boy here. Back it up, Bench Podcast. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, we do have a great lineup. Nothing but goats. Nothing but fucking goats tonight, baby. You know what I'm saying? Even if one is from Philadelphia, but it's okay, bro. Brotherly love, man. Brotherly love.
Always got to get it. Always got to take a little.
Hey, listen, none of our team is in the fucking Super Bowl, so hey,
yeah.
It is what it is. Today we're brothers, man. We'll hit each other.
One of my closest friends is a Giants fan, man. And he just every time the Eagles lose, he got to tell me, and I'm like, man, your team, how many wins you got this year?
Nah, I know, bro. That's what we can hang ourselves to, bro. Listen, with the fucking .com, and this is from a Giants and Philadelphia Eagles fan. When Dallas lost to Arizona, bro, I was using that shit all year long, but we didn't lose to Arizona.
And the thing is,
we beat them.
I hated New England so much. I was pulling for you guys hardcore when you guys played them. So,
man, we did it twice though.
Yeah, I loved it. I love that.
So let's do this real quick before we move on to we gotta stay on the Super Bowl topic, but we gotta get a little more of the stuff and parties and stuff like that. Let's hit down the tail of the tape, right? Let's go down position by position, and you guys tell me who you think has the advantage, right? And not to like get too wordy, but first of all, right, let's start with the most obvious one, quarterback. Who has the advantage of quarterback? The Kansas City Chiefs or the Niners?
Kansas City
Chiefs.
Chiefs do.
I agree with it. However, I think Brock Purdy, with the way he's played this year and the way he's come back in those 2 games, and because he has the better surrounding cast, that kind of makes him a little more closer. It's Mahomes right here. A little closer to that Mahomes just because of personnel. But absolutely, you got to go with the greatest of all time. You know, right now. Not the greatest of all time. The GOAT right now. The greatest of all time. And
he's the best player ever, not the greatest player ever.
Exactly. He's the greatest player right now. Right now. Greatest player right now. There we go. All right.
So in other words, he's a GOAT, not a GOAT.
Yeah. Come up with a new acronym or some shit like that. You know what I mean? There we go.
Yeah,
all right.
or fucking algorithm like fucking Pro Football Focus does, and then we just now go based on that fucking algorithm. Yes, asshole.
Fuck those guys. They can shove their algorithms. All right, we got to move to running backs.
You could tell by the name there that I used tonight. We all know we're getting into that.
Yeah, we got to get
into
that.
The fucking cat is going off.
When we get to the douchebag and dumbass category, it's when we usually get kicked off TikTok because of shit like that when I post these fucking clips. That's usually what happens. And it's all Jim. You know, I'm on the TikTok.
In the words of Dave, TikTok can get fucked.
You were saying, Brent, what was that?
You're the quiet one of the two, which is odd.
It's not saying much, bro, because I don't shut the fuck up. It's like,
there you go.
All right, running backs. Isaiah Pacheco for the Chiefs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, complete bust. LaMichael Pirine is your 3rd running back. All right, Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, Jordan Mason. Advantage.
CMC over.
Absolutely. I mean,
it ain't close.
No, it's not. I think this is the strength where it would be. This is where they can't fuck this up, man. They gotta run through the strength, man.
E-Man, does Purdy turn the ball over at least once? What do you think? I say at least once he does.
He's done it in 2 games. He did it in the first game against the Packers, and he also did it once, even though he recovered from it. See, again, he has to play what I mean errorless is not turning the ball over. He can't fumble, he can't throw a pick. You know what I mean? For them to win. If he does, it's one of those things that I say that they cannot come out flat. And if they come out flat.
Do you think the Chiefs are watching what Baltimore did to
absolutely
the 49ers that week when Purdy threw 4 or 5 picks? 4 at least.
Absolutely.
Like there got to be something incorporated there.
Yep. Andy Reid has probably watched so much fucking film in his fucking Betamax. All right, in his fucking Betamax.
Cheeseburgers and film.
That's he's been eating White Castles and shit. All right, looking at these fucking films over and over again.
You're the only one of this group. Hold on, maybe Jim remembers fucking Betamax.
Yeah. Remember, hey, Brent. I'm only like I'm turning 46 at the end of the month. All right, so I'm
49. So
I'm right behind you, bro. You know,
Beta and never catching up. Hey,
Aaron's the baby.
No, Aaron, those were things that used to pop and they used to come down. Don't worry about it. There was no skip,
I would put money on Aaron's never press rewind on a VHS tape.
I did because truth be told, my mom has a TV still. It was my old TV. It was like my first TV. It has a DVD player in it. And it has a VHS in it. And and I was like, Mom, I'll buy you a flat screen. And she's like, No, it's over her head, and it's just like it's a fucking nightmare.
Dude, my mom is 7. My mom is 73, and she's actually gone with the times, man. I bought her a new flat screen. She had like an old ass. It was flat, but it was like the old flat screen that was like this, like this fucking thing in the back and shit. Even for like 15, 13 years ago, and I finally got her like a new TV. It's like this fucking thing, and she's like, "That's not bigger than my TV, Mom. It's bigger. It's like 20 fucking inches bigger. It's just the same size. You know what I mean? It's just the same size. You know when you look at the square. Well, that screen is fucking huge. You know what I mean?
But it weighs 8 pounds compared to the 200 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. It took 3 of us to get that shit out and put it on the curve for fucking bulk. You know what I mean? So, but I'm with you guys. Advantage of Niners, no doubt about it. Right, the running game is their advantage, and they need to exploit that. One thing, the 49ers cannot stop the run to save their lives. We've seen it against the Packers. Aaron Jones 8, fucking Gibbs 8. So did Montgomery. They can't stop anything against the gut. I'm not saying that Pacheco is better than Aaron Jones or maybe Gibbs, but he's a really fucking hard running back, right? This guy is an angry runner that can get yards. and they're gonna have to figure some way that this guy can get at least 18 to 20 carries in this game in order to keep up with the 49ers run game. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to because I mean, with the Niners wide receivers after Kelsey and the emergence of Rashee Rice, who else you got?
Yep.
Friggin', I don't see Sky Moore anywhere.
Or fucking, is Kadarius Toney playing? I'm so fucking glad we traded him.
I don't know. I think he's still blaming artificial intelligence for his Instagram rant where he called the whole Chiefs organization a bunch of bitches. So whether he's showing up or not, I don't know. But I think if he is playing, they're doing a walkthrough where they show him where the neutral zones are.
I think Tony's been DFA'd to the Calgary Stampeders in the CFL. He ain't seeing the field. He ain't coming around, man. He's gone.
And I think MVS went in for emergency hand surgery to get hands that could catch a ball in a big moment.
He caught a big one the last game, though. Hey. He caught a big one. 45 yards.
Yeah, broken clocks right twice a day.
Now, talking about wide receivers, let's go. That's the next tell of the tape here, guys. Ready? I'm going to go down the wide receiver group here. All right, you got Travis Kelsey, Rashee Rice, MVS, Justin Watson, Noah Gray, Kadarius Butterfinger Toney, Richie James, McCall Hardman. And then you got Brandon Ayuk, Debo, George Kittle, Jawan Jennings, Ray McLeod, Chris Conley, and Ronnie Bell. Advantage.
49ers by a mile.
Absolutely.
So I mean, shit, my toilet bowl passes than the Chiefs have.
Listen, dark horse, if you're building some fantasy lineups, you're going to do showdowns, put Jawan Jennings in your fucking lineup because he's cheap. And he's actually been involved because of, the great defense has been playing against everybody else. That's one you want to look in there because he's like 4,000 in DraftKings and everybody else is like, 9,000, 10,000, 12,000.
I was going to say, man, you with all your predictions, you probably got $3,000 on DraftKings alone. Jesus.
Bro, I got so much shit going on, bro. It's not even funny, man. I mean, I did this on Wednesday already with my boy Cricket, who's like the analytic fucking genius, and he does betting and all that stuff. This guy is insane. We built a lineup on air. Man, which I'm gonna leave it there. It's like so.
Take it to the bank.
Yeah. Well, I'm taking you to the bank, man. You better.
Hey, listen. If fantasy football was an exact science, fucking Matthew Berry would be winning every $1 million fucking tournament in the world, and that asshole hasn't won a single one yet. But he's making a shitload of money on fantasy football content. All right, bro. So
if things go sideways, I'll give my wife your number. And you don't want to hear from her, man. She's fucking ruthless. Jesus Christ.
Then you better tell her that you're going to do this then.
Hey, Brent, to handle your personality and your fire, don't you think you got to marry somebody that's ruthless, right?
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things. Love her, but Jesus. Fuck, she needs to shut up sometimes.
For you young bucks, it's called balance in life. You know what I'm saying? You got to balance. It's balance.
Happy wife, happy life.
I know it took me fucking 10 years to figure that out. We've been married for 14, so it's
and you can go back and find that. Like, okay, where did I first go wrong?
I feel like it's the Da Vinci Code trying to figure out that problem. So
it is, and nobody has figured out 100% yet. So if not, we would have 50% divorce rate in this country or in this world, or whatever the fuck it is. So you guys agree, right? It's Kelsey and Rashee Rice and a bunch of cab drivers and dishwashers, pretty much for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
When it comes to a position player. So right now we got 2-1 right now, right? We got running backs, wide receiver advantage of 49ers, quarterback, we got the Chiefs. Let's move on to the next one. We got let's see what we got here. The offensive line. I'm not gonna mention all these fucking names because some of these guys, that's gonna mention the ones that we know. Trent Williams, right? Aaron Banks, Donovan Smith, right? Creed Humphreys, to name a few. But what do you think, offensive line wise? Who has the advantage? And I'll tell you what I think after you guys give me your take. Who has the advantage?
It's kind of close.
It's very even.
If you think about it, it's very close. But again, the Niners can't stop the rush. But Kansas City at times hasn't been able to stop it either. I mean, they were able to against Baltimore at times.
Because they didn't fucking run the football, bro. Their running backs have 5 attempts.
Well, that's because Baltimore ran away from what got them to where they should have been. The fucking chooch bag, fucking Lamar. I'm not MVP Jackson.
These fucking Mama Lukes forced Lamar to play a completely different fucking game that he fucking been playing all his career. What the fuck is
One
that?
he's not
He's
used
trying to be a
to.
pocket passer all game long.
What was that? I'm sorry,
San,
Bob.
San Francisco's defense or O-line has to be better than Kansas City's. They have to be better because obviously Purdy's not as athletic as Mahomes. It has to be better. If it's not, that's a major problem. That's a major problem. And
That's where
crazy guys.
the cities.
That might be like the key point. The key point. Without that, then they're done. They're not going to win. They won't score enough points.
Trent Williams, who's a fucking stud, has to play the game of his life. You know what I mean? Remember when he went down also with Debo, that was a slide. That was the beginning of the 3-game slide for San Francisco.
Right?
He went down against the Browns. So, I'm going to call it a wash, right? Maybe a little more. I think it's a wash in my book. I think both of us are pretty solid.
Definitely. The Niners have to be better on the O-line because Mahomes can run around doing whatever he does.
Absolutely.
They have to be better. Have to be. Or they're fucked.
No, I agree with you 100%. I'm there with you. All right, let's see what else we got here. Offensive line. So we got to give the nod. Let's call that one out. You guys okay? We call it a wash, right? Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a wash. Front seven, ladies and gentlemen. This is a big discussion here because front seven, I think this is going to be deciding factor of the game. All right, let's name a few. Chris Jones. They had to pay this fucking man because look how big it's been for the 49ers, right? He's anchored this damn defense, and this is a year where the offense didn't get you the wins in the postseason. The offense did enough, and the defense kept the other teams at bay, right? So you got Chris Jones, Deshaun Watson, Willie Gay, Nick Bolton, name a few for the Chiefs. Nick Bosa, Armstead, Jason Hargrave, Chase Young, Fred Warner, Greenlaw. The names sound nicer on the other side, right? You got the more Pro Bowlers, kind of like the more marquee names on the 49ers side. What do you guys think? Who has the edge on the front line here when it comes to defense?
Well, if Chase Young actually shows up and plays every play instead of taking a few off, then I would have to give it to the Niners.
Okay. What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, I honestly a lot's been made of this Chiefs defense, and yes, they've played well. I still think they're a potential bend don't break type of defense, where I think the Niners at times can be absolutely locked down. I trust the Niners defense more. Now you're going against Mahomes, so it kind of skews that a little bit. But if I'm picking just based on who I want on my team, I'm taking the Niners. Fred Warner, Hargrave up there, Bosa, it's a lot to account for all at the same time. Those guys fly all over the field. So the speed, physicality, everything involved there, I think the Niners have the edge there for sure.
Bosa might make a couple plays that might make him the MVP. He's a good player, right? Not a good player, he's a great player. Yep. And he might be one of those guys that it's usually when whoever wins the Super Bowl, the quarterback gets the MVP of the game. You go back to David, John Elway bullshit back then, but Bosa's a good enough player, great enough player where he can make those kind of plays that he might be the MVP of the game. Because and like you said, E-Man, it's going to take a stop eventually. Someone's going to have to make a stop, and Bosa's that kind of guy, right? So maybe it's maybe.
No, go ahead, Jim. You going to say something?
No, I'm just nodding my head like a fucking idiot.
Bobblehead. We got to get bobbleheads and Jim Stogie out of his yap. Fucking bobblehead Jim. Band of the band.
Yeah,
hey, shut up.
It's a moneymaker.
Real quick, Jim, before we proceed, come on. You got to give South Shore a shout out. Tell the folks where you're recording from. Come on, man. It's customary every week, baby. Come on. It's customary. We got to do this shit.
Yeah, of course. So I decided, because I got to work tomorrow and I didn't feel like going home to do this. So I went to my home away from home, South Shore Cigar Lounge, to record, to do this live. So, and there's a good amount of people in here too. So it's always packed in here.
Talk about dedication.
And a huge thanks to Chris, one of the owners, for allowing me to do it. I guess that's what you get when you spend a ton of money in here. So,
And Brent,
you get.
Brent, you mentioned the Broncos, right, Brent? And I'll go with you. Check this out. You want to see something fucking crazy that kind of points.
I like crazy.
So the kind of, and I'm not a conspiracy kind of guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm not. But there's some comparisons between the 98 Super Bowl team from the Broncos and some similarities, some coincidence, and this 49ers team. Mike Shanahan was the head coach of the 98 team.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan is the head coach of this 49ers team. Brian Greasy was the fucking quarterback. All right. Brian Greasy is the quarterback's coach for the 49ers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anthony Lynn was a running back in that team in 98, the 98 Broncos team. Anthony Lynn is the assistant head coach and running back coach. Ed McCaffrey, I used to call him, give the ball to Ed, sandwich his ass, jackknife him. He's still going to hold on to that shit. Was a wide receiver in that championship team. His son, he was fucking tough. His son,
great player,
of course. So kind of wild, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm stars are pointing one way. So
put the house on it, man. The Niners are winning on Sunday afternoon. Put the house on her.
It's going that way, man. It's definitely going that way. There's a lot of shit that I'm researching and it's pointing that way. Now, don't get me wrong. I've done this shit before and I've been 100% fucking wrong. Because welcome to football, man. You know what I mean? It just happens. Shit just happens in football.
$100,000 here.
Done. Oh, fuck that, dude. That $100,000 is in tuition right now for the kids that's being reinvested.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go down to the secondary, right? All right. This one is an interesting one, right? L'Jarius Sneed has been shut down this season, this whole playoffs for the Kansas City Chiefs. Javarius Ward, again, another guy that stepped up. I know they lost some people in the secondary. Trent Duffy, Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams, Justin Reed in the safety side for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then you got Humphrey Thomas, Jair Brown, Logan. Honestly, I'm going to give you who I think has the edge based on matchups, but who do you think has the advantage here in the secondary?
Well, you could get Kansas City to make dumb penalties in the secondary, and you've seen it all year. Where where they'll get a pass interference call where you literally didn't even have to commit pass interference. Like the ball's like 30 yards overthrown, and there's like Snead like on top of somebody, like he's fucking trying to take his money. But I still gotta give the Chiefs. I gotta go with the Chiefs secondary.
Okay. What do you think there, Aaron?
Yeah, I go Chiefs. If there is a weak point, I shouldn't say a weakness, but a weak point. I do think the 49ers' weak point would be their secondary. Penn State legend Jair Brown, I root for that guy, but I can't stand the 49ers. So wish him success. But he's emerged as a pretty good NFL talent. But I just think the Chiefs, you could argue outside of Chris Jones, like the Chiefs secondary, it would be their strength at times. So I just have a little bit more trust now. You know, we talk about the matchup, which is tough. Like you put a great receiving core against a pretty good secondary. Great receiving core is probably going to come out on top. I think the Chiefs have the advantage personnel-wise, but with the pass rush of the 49ers and everything else, it'll make their secondary look good. That's how the Eagles actually look decent. Is we had great pass rush, this, that, and the third. Now we have no pass rush.
That was last year. Yeah, that was last year.
Yeah, exactly. So you see the flip-flop of that. So.
Brett, what do you think?
I'm confused why, like, Aaron, you're such a young guy. Like, I'll get into the pass rush and everything else, but Aaron, you're a young guy. The hatred you have in your heart for a football team disturbs me a little bit. It disturbs me a little bit. It's just a football team, man. Like, you got to let it go. You got to let it go. Feel love in your heart a little bit.
I get it, but it's a life.
To hate the San Francisco 49ers who are, but like, because you're out in Pennsylvania and they don't start playing their home games until what, 5 o'clock at night, 4, and you're sleeping, whatever it is. You got to get that out of your like.
I get that, but they've kind of started this on their own. Like it was unintentional. It's not like he deep shot at Brock Purdy and broke his neck and he's crippled for the rest of his life. Like he hit his hand against an Eagles player's helmet.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
We would have beat you. We would have beat you. We didn't even lose the fucking game. I heard people in San Fran saying, "Oh, we didn't. That game didn't really fucking count because Purdy." Ever since then, and then they came in and whooped our asses for, tip my cap to them. But fuck them at the end of the day. Like, you know what I mean? I'm over it. Brock Purdy has probably the most punchable face in the NFL.
I think we need to have a
hey yo, what the
heart to heart. Like you got to get over it, man. Like to have that much hatred in your heart at a young age. That's not
good. It's not healthy. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but it's there.
Hey, listen, Brent, I'm gonna give you a little insight, right? Because Eagles fans, right? Eagles fans are just like me and Jim can attest, being a New York, coming from the New York market, right? They're pretty similar. I think you guys are way more hardcore because you really like fucking want to kill everybody else. Dallas Cowboys are a bunch of bitches, so they're kind of soft. You know what I mean?
The 1 stars, yeah,
exactly. You know what I mean? But when it comes to that, it's the Eagles and the Phillies. You know what I mean? Same thing with baseball. You know what I mean? It's like fucking A, bro. Fuck everybody else. We deserve to win every single time. They just don't. You know what I mean? So that's where that hatred comes, and that's where that I guess
they started it.
Animosity, right?
Started it with us. They started it with us, and we didn't do anything to cause it. That's where I'm like, you guys can go fuck off. Like.
Oh, so it's like Cleveland Browns fans with Steeler fans is what you're saying.
The only difference is that the Eagles have won more Super Bowls, all right, and be more successful in their life. They can bitch. They got a right. They got a right to bitch. The other ones don't. They haven't won shit. So
we have our little baby pop. Our 1 Super Bowl. I'll be the first one to admit it.
So I honestly think secondary wise, the tougher matchup on baby, right? It's a different story when you get to the game and you got to, like you said, Brent. People forget that you got to play the room, right? And I like to use the example of when I was young and and ruthless and wasn't scared of shit before I got married and had kids. I would go to a bar or a club, and I would actually the first thing I did is survey the area, and I figure out what the hell I needed to do in this area here, depending on what chick is around, what dude was here, where's the door, where's the fucking bar stool, where's the chair, I'm gonna hit the guy in case some shit gets wild, right? You got to play the game. You got to play the field. That's what, going back to Big Balls, Dan No Brains Campbell did not realize. He did not play the fucking field and did not play the environment. So I think playing the environment wise, the Chiefs secondary has a really tough task because the 49ers have so many weapons that can hurt you. And I think Kyle has to come up with a game script that if your number one option is not working, your number two needs to fucking get executed. And if that's not working either, you got a third option, right? So you're going from McCaffrey, who's your number one option. I don't care what it is. You got Debo as your second option, right? Those two guys are so interchangeable because they're going to line up different formations. And it's going to create a lot of matchup problems. And even Kittle, who's lost 3 steps, it's a guy that you're going to have to watch for, not just from a offensive side, but he's going to be blocking as well, part of the scheme. Brandon Ayuk, man, I give that dude credit. He pulled a fucking David Tyree kind of play against the damn Lions, right? With great concentration, going deep. Ball hits the helmet, makes a catch, right? So they got so many of those scenarios. They got to make sure they're so perfect, right? That I think that I would give the edge to the 49ers, even though secondary-wise, I think they're better than the Chiefs. But they got so much of the harder matchup because of the lack of personnel, right? Remember, it's Kelsey, Rashee Rice, and then a bunch of cab drivers after that. That's where I give the edge to the secondary of the 49ers. No disrespect.
I love when you say cab drivers. I love that. It's my favorite thing you say. It's my favorite thing. I love that.
All right, let's go down now to the real fucking game decision here. Ready? Special teams. I don't even know why I'm bringing this up, but
oh my God, Jake Moody is booty.
Yeah, and so look, Harrison Butker against Jay Moody. Punters, you got Tommy Townsend, who I have no idea who any of these two fucking guys are, or Mitch Wachowski. And then special teams, Richie James and Ray McCrow. I think that's a wash. Who do you guys give the edge, special teams overall? Just take all 3 positions.
Well, Moody fucking shanks it in a big moment.
You can't hit anything plus 40 yards.
So he could get fucked. I got to go Kansas City's special team because Butker's pretty automatic. Like after Justin Tucker, and Chris Boswell for the Steelers, AFC wise, who's more automatic than friggin' Butker? I mean, like CM Punk. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I think that's fair to say. Their kicker is better. Richie James is a real dynamic guy. He could take it to the house at any point. So can Ray McLeod, right? He's another guy that's explosive. And I think there, and I think there is where if a special teams touchdown here via punt return or a return or a kickoff return, it's gonna be huge for either team. So, but advantage, I give the Chiefs as well. What do you think, Brent? And
I don't be the kicker who misses something, so we know his name on Monday morning, because you never know a kicker's name if he makes kicks, because that's their job, right? If a kicker misses a field goal, like I can believe that whoever missed a field goal, yeah, that's the only time you know his name. Don't be that guy. Kansas City special teams are going to be better on Sunday.
That's fair to say. What do you think, Ira?
Yeah, having a kicker I trust is just a huge thing. Like, obviously anybody could fumble the snap, they could, anything can happen. But if you go into a game where you're like, God, please don't let it come down to a field goal, that's a problem, obviously. So yeah, I'll go with Buckner. I just, if it comes down to a field goal, like Brent said, you better now it's the human element. If you're in between your ears too much, anything can happen. But that's why you signed up for that. So at the end of the day, you gotta live with the result of, if I fuck
that
up,
might be the worst job on the planet. The worst job on the planet. Worse than being a fucking sweeping the subway stations, being in New York City, being an NFL kicker. Because if you make it, you're supposed to. If you miss it, oh fuck. The only reason why people know kickers is if they missed.
You live by the foot, you die by the foot.
Well,
right in your ass.
You also know them too if they make it, because people know who Adam Vinatieri is.
Gostkowski, right?
And the Ravens, Billy Cundiff in the playoffs against the Patriots. That was
Who was the guy that Peyton Manning our stupid fucking kicker? Vanderjagt. Remember our stupid fucking kicker? Well, and Vanderjagt's Canadian, so he's probably a stupid drunken kicker. But one of those things. But yeah.
Hey, had a strong leg, bro. That was good though.
Yeah. It's just funny.
That dude was kicking field goals right now off where Dave is curling right now. You know what I'm saying? In the fucking winter. Taking kicks in the back of the curling fucking facility that he's at over the fucking building. That's
there you go.
That's a lot to say, bro. You don't get to practice as much. You got to practice in the fucking cold. So this guy's hitting against the wind.
To make it like he did, it's a big accomplishment. But yeah, to be a kicker, that's probably the hardest job on the planet. And to have a guy like, who's that guy in Baltimore that they paid $10 million to?
Tucker?
Justin Tucker.
If you go back to it's worth it though. Like, if you have a field goal, like, would Buffalo be paying Tucker if Buffalo said, "Oh, maybe we should have paid Tucker," right? Then they're in Super Bowl. Really?
Yeah.
Like, as ridiculous as it is, the kicker comes down to almost not the most important, but maybe the 1.5, 1 3/4 most important person in the team. That's not really part of the team.
Yeah.
Go
kick over the high school field. I don't give a fuck, whatever. The kicker is so important.
If I ever play football, or I can't, I'm 5'8", right? So, but that would be the position I would play. It's as a fucking 5'8" Cuban guy. You know what I'm saying, dude? That
Well, me and Deanne, we talked about it. I said, if we have a kid, we're not. Shut that down. But I said, if you had a child, I said I would put up upright, I put the goalposts up, grab him a ball and a tee, and just kick. Because the worst player on your Pop Warner team and your high school team ends up being the kicker.
Yep.
If you can make your kid a great kicker, he's worth $8 million.
And he's got to play for 15 fucking years.
Yes.
Making a nice living. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And then just come out with a podcast like Pat McAfee and cash the fuck out.
That's it, bro. That's it. Or you could be a lineman like Jason Kelsey and have another great fucking podcast, right? And after you're in. And,
There you go. There it is.
that's what it is, bro. Unsung heroes here. But I'm with you guys. So can we call it advantage the Kansas City Chiefs, right? All right. Finally, the last tell of the tape. And Brent, I'm gonna let you tee off on this one because of your take on the coaching. There we go, coaching.
I'm going to think that Shanahan overthinks himself and overthinks it a lot because of this and that and everything else. He doesn't have the weapons he has. I think that Andy Reid knows the weapons he has and can finish it off. I think that coaching's going to go to Reid because he'll let the players do what the players do. I think that Shanahan is going to be the young guy, smart guy in the room, and it's going to hurt him a lot because that's kind of what he's done. And I'm going to go. Coaching goes to Andy Reid and the Kansas City.
Yeah, I cannot disagree with that. It's just let's go with pedigree and track record, right?
Yeah. One guy's done it, one guy hasn't.
Yep.
Simple.
Multiple times. You know what I mean? So. Hey man, that was the tell of the tape, boys and girls. I lost count already who went to what, but I think advantage goes. We'll see on Sunday. Oh man. So, any of you guys have any plans for the Super Bowl? What do you guys do for a Super Bowl, man? I mean, parties. Anybody's going? I mean, I am. I'm actually. I take the day after the Super Bowl. I've been taking the day off. I've been taking Monday off from work now for like 10 years.
That should be a national holiday for you guys. It really should.
All they need to do is move it one more week because we have
everybody's
there's a holiday.
Everybody's a bag of shit Monday morning anyway. So why not just have it a holiday? Move it a week, or actually, you know what? Move the holiday back a week.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, right now there's a holiday the following week. Next Monday, it's a holiday. So I think they should just move the fucking game another week and like either add another game or fuck around with a schedule or something, right? You know, and it'll be the day after a holiday. So
maybe 2 weeks of Pro Bowl. How about that? Since it's so great.
Yeah.
No. One's enough. One's enough. Even though I did enjoy the Pro Bowl. I do like the, you know.
I forgot it happened.
I
it was on.
Yeah, because
I know Brent about it.
When I was listening to 1420, I think Dave or you, Brent, said, "Oh, well, I think Jim enjoys the Pro Bowl, but he's probably about the only motherfucker out there that does." You know what I mean?
I forgot it was on.
And my fucking
55,000 went to go see it live. So
that's because they're giving the tickets away.
Yeah, $5. $5 a pop.
I'll go if it's fucking free. I don't give a shit.
I mean,
the NFL is they're too greedy to make it actually free, so it would be like $5. Like, and then the beer is $25. So
I don't even watch fucking Steel Cup. I don't watch anything that has to do Pro Bowl related. It's like nothing at all.
You know, who has the best All-Star? I think either NHL or MLB by far.
There you go. Jim is helping out here right now. Hey, what's up, buddy? Shout out to one of the Patriots back there. Hey, ask him who he picks in the Super Bowl. Ask him who he picks in the Super Bowl, Jim. Ask that gentleman with the chair. Who's he picking?
I don't know. He's talking to somebody now. So I mean, if you want, I can survey the room and see who's picking who. Like, who are you guys picking for the Super Bowl?
At the end.
Chiefs or 49ers?
Man of the people.
There you go. Smart guy. Chiefs.
I think this party's too young.
That's a good. There we go.
Too young. He's gonna choke. If he doesn't choke, they'll win.
That's a good assumption right there. I like that. He says if Purdy don't choke.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, he hasn't played a flawless game yet. He's played two great
Screaming hot take by Tony.
Yeah.
He's such a car loud.
Shout out to South Shore once again, bro, for the quality and letting you film on location. There. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, won't be the first and won't be the last. So
there we go. We just gotta get you a mic though, so we can cancel out the noise in the back. That's what we need to do.
I got a question for you guys.
What's up?
When your team, like you're a Giants guy, Aaron, you're a Philadelphia guy, and obviously Jim, you're a Pittsburgh guy. When your team is in the game, do you go to a party or do you stay home to just watch it? I don't know. Like what the Yankees? I know in 2019 or 2017, sorry, the Yankees. That was my favorite Yankee season in recent memory. I didn't go out and about and everything else to watch those games. When the game means something to me, I stay at home and I watch the game because I don't want all the questions, all the stuff, right? So what do you guys do? Like when your team's involved, like what's your game day thing?
Well, on the regular season, I'm at home. I mean, it's like I cap my ass on Sunday with like 4 or 5 different screens because I'm either betting. I got a bunch of leagues going on, and I play DFS, and I play daily fantasy. So I'm like just staying there. My wife hates football season because I disappear on Sundays. You know what I mean? I do a morning podcast with my boys from Patriot Sports. They do a Wake and Rake show. Shout out to those guys, PSR, Chris, and all those guys in cricket.
Good show.
And we do a sit and stars. We talk about gambling. We talk about fantasy, right? So that starts in the morning. You know, come down, spend time with the kids. We either go to church right after that or we do Saturday mass, right? And then we do that. But then once 1 o'clock hit, there's a big ass hole in my couch throughout the years now that I sit there reclined up, iPad on one side, 85-inch in the other. Got another screen over here, just looking
It's like
at
sunken
shit.
down. Like
Exactly.
It's like
So the regular season Super Bowl, my best friend who I known from fucking 7th grade, and we both grew up in New York. Coincidentally, we moved to the same area in Florida after high school, right? And all that kind of stuff. We went to college here. I came a little later on. But he throws a killer Super Bowl party where my brother does all the cooking. He's a great cook. And we actually kind of have a theme. And it's like 50 people in there. And the party's awesome. I'm going to be there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, beer in hand, getting shit ready. And boards up with the wazoo. We have like 2 fucking boards of squares. That gets thrown in there. And yeah, man, great food. We kind of figure out, you know, again, we do non-traditional. I mean, we do the regular food, but like, give you an example. Being a Cuban born, even though I lived in the United States most of my life, last year we roasted a fucking pig, all right? Up in the middle of the backyard of my brother's house. That's one of the main dishes. We throw in fucking rice with this shit, you know, apart from the buffalo wings and the fucking pizza. We do like plantain shit and a lot of fucking drinking. So there's a big to do. Everybody gathers around the food and big pool full of fucking game. You know, my buddy has like 2 different screens, you know, one in the backyard, and then you got people in the backyard. Here's nice setup. We're watching out in the backyard because it's Florida, bro. You know, we outside. You know what I mean?
What's the address of this place?
Yeah, it's in Miramar, bro.
I might buy an airplane ticket tomorrow, E-Man, and be down there.
Hey, you guys are more than welcome to come down, man.
You got to put snow up here in Canada right now.
It's going to be 65 degrees at nighttime tomorrow, so it's just like now. So
not too bad.
Hey, I moved here 20 years ago, bro, and I'm never fucking looking back, dude. I am, you know, I could root for my teams far away as long as this weather stays up. You know what I mean? So, what do you guys do? When you guys go to a Super Bowl party? Do you plan your own? What do you guys do?
So, I've been around. One of my closest friends growing up, his family's all Pittsburgh. So, whenever they were in the Super Bowl, I'd always be over there. I've now the Eagles were in the Super Bowl 3 times. The one time I went out, they won the Super Bowl. So I should have just duplicated that last year. I didn't go out last year. Sure enough, they blew it. I'm not a big conspiracy, like, oh, you know, rabbit's foot, all that bullshit. If they're gonna win, they're gonna win. If they're gonna lose, they're gonna lose. For a game like this, for me, all power in the world to you, man. Like, I love football as much as the next guy, but when my team's not in it, it takes a big damper on that. So probably catch it at home, maybe watch a quarter or 2 somewhere. But like, it's it's the whole experience. It's the commercials, halftime, everything. But it's like it's a little like you know, it's spoiled milk a little bit when your team's on.
Trust me, dude. I get home at 1 o'clock in the morning that day. I'm over my happy ass at 1 o'clock in the morning because after the game is over, we're finishing up whatever the food is left and we're lighting up cigars and we're talking shit after the game. You know what I mean? It's pretty much it's a long night. That's why I don't go to work the next day.
No, yeah.
All right. You guys gamble at all? And if you don't, why don't you guys give me your top?
I don't because my wife might hear us talking about this, but I don't.
So betting wise, you guys got any picks you want to share? Props or
There was one prop bet that really caught my eye is how many different people would throw touchdowns, and it was at 2.5.
Okay.
And I'm over on that because I think that McCaffrey throws a touchdown, and I think that Kelsey throws a touchdown. I think there's going to be 4 different people throwing touchdowns on Sunday afternoon. I think that's a lock because McCaffrey's been a great player. So 2.5 to me is low.
Okay.
And so I'm going to say that is the one I'm going to probably hit a little bit harder than I should.
Okay. All right, Aaron, what do you got, man? What do you think?
I definitely get into the betting circle or whatever, the betting universe. I do like that. Like I'll probably throw a couple on like Juwan Jennings, like your guy Juwan. Like I'll throw it on a not so likely guy just because the payout's a little bit bigger. I'll probably put together a big like 12, 13 leg parlay of like what's the Kool-Aid color gonna be, the coin toss bucket, like throw it all to the wolves because why not? Like yeah, I mean, there's the ones you can kind of bank on, like if you put McCaffrey for 2 touchdowns, probably, or like you take your like a Debo or Ayuk or Kelsey on the other side, obviously, or Pachenko. There's always those, but I think you got to at least put in some silly ones just because, like the Super Bowl will offer you that. What color is the Gatorade? That type of all those weird little nuances.
I think the biggest one is which song does Usher start off with?
Oh, big.
Yeah,
we're talking tonight. Yeah, we're talking tonight.
Supposedly he's gonna fit his whole catalog in 13 minutes.
Man, Alicia Keys is gonna be there now. Like we need more of this bullshit. Oh,
yeah.
Is that not too much time?
And I heard Post Malone's gonna be there too. Post Malone's rumored to be doing that too.
Really? Okay.
Oh god, they could all get fucked.
I actually
Bieber's gonna show up with Usher, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
So
fuck Bieber too.
No, 100% fuck Bieber. Yeah.
Jennings,
he's from your neck of the woods, Brent.
Yep,
You can't hate on
Toronto. Toronto's not Canada. It's just Toronto.
That's what we say about Buffalo, bro. Buffalo is Canada, not the United States.
Yeah.
It's yours. It's yours, bro. Right there with Niagara Falls. It's
yeah,
yours.
we go. Okay, we'll take it. Whatever. It's fine.
You can have Buffalo, have the wings, have the friggin' flaming tables with the Bills Mafia. Take it. We don't want it.
No. We're nice. We're very gentle and everything else.
I like Juwan Jennings anytime touchdown. You know why? Because he's been getting involved a lot, and because of the matchups. That's actually plus 750. Anytime touchdown for Juwan Jennings. It's one of my riskiest plays, but it's probably the one that has the most upside to hit if it does hit. So plus 750. Throw $10 in there, make $75. As one of your bets.
You can always kind of tweak it a little bit. Make maybe 49ers. I think 49ers are favored. Maybe drop the 49ers to +2 and put a good bet on that. Spread 2 or 1 or whatever. So then even if they lose by 1, you still get it.
You can put the over on how many times. You can put the over and how many times they're going to pan into Taylor Swift when she arrives.
Just annihilate the over. Life savings the over.
Yep. 5.5. 5.5 right now. They're saying that's the over/under for Taylor Swift to come out on camera. I think that's
gotta be over.
Gotta be the over.
All the Starbucks baristas are going on the over.
Yep, absolutely. The Starbucks baristas, the ones that work at fucking Ulta. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys know what that is. Or Safari.
I unfortunately do know what that is. I know what Ulta is. I have a 16-year-old. Trust me. Every time it's, Dad, can I get a gift card to Ulta? Yeah, sure. Why not? Here you go.
But when it comes to the game, I am definitely probably going to parlay the Niners with the points. That's -2. And I'm sticking to the under 47.5 for the game. That's,
really?
Yep.
Like I honestly think the Niners are going to win. But I think it's going to be, for some reason, I have no scientific backing on this whatsoever. Analytic backing.
Neither do I.
I think that Niners win, but I think it's going to be really high scoring. Like I think you're looking at a 37-33 game for some reason. And I just think that both teams are going to do something. And
here's a really good one, right? First touchdown scorer. Let me give you some lines, right? McCaffrey plus 380, Pacheco plus 596, Kelsey plus 700, Debo plus 874. That actually went down from plus 900. So I like the first down touchdown with Debo. If you want to sprinkle something high as well, you know what I mean?
I would maybe go Kittle there.
Kittle is actually Kittle is plus 1100. So
he screwed me a couple of times, so I try to avoid taking him at all now because I'm like, it's a tight end. Purdy doesn't have the biggest arm in the world. Boom, little 15-yard out. Nope. It's like, so I'll hammer Kelsey because I just think if Chiefs get the ball, like if Chiefs score first, I think it'll be Kelsey.
I think so too. It's been happening so far right now, and actually, Kelsey is at plus 700, which is not bad.
Not bad.
That's not bad. That's not bad. So I'm gonna leave you guys to discuss something because I gotta go take a piss, okay? Because I've had like 4 beers. You know what I'm saying, dude? So I gotta go. I gotta break the seal, guys. But discuss amongst yourself. It's gonna take me like 20 seconds. What are you guys looking forward to the most in this game? Each one of you guys come with one surprise play or a surprise player that's gonna be the unsung hero or the black. Like every year, James White out of nowhere, right? That kind of guy. Pick a guy from each team who's gonna be that dark horse who nobody expects is gonna have a decent game. It's gonna make a difference. And I'll be back because I gotta do this shit.
Oh man, I think Jawan Jennings might be the unsung hero. I don't know about you guys.
I think that this game is going to come down to a couple of trick plays that no one thought. I think it's going to be because both teams are so evenly matched. I think you're going to see 100% the like I said, the four touchdowns but passed by 4 different people. I think that's going to be the story of the game, and it might come down to a point where McCaffrey throws 2 because it won't happen. One of those things, and then you have a situation now. What was that? 1997, before Aaron was even a glint in his mother's eye. When who was Howard, Desmond Howard touchdown. I think there might be something like that, where there's an opening kickoff because this game is so close. There might be something like that happens. I think that's something important.
I think Edwards-Helaire might do more than because everybody's going to be focused on Pacheco. I think in the short yardage down near the goal line, maybe Edwards-Helaire does. Not that would be huge, but a touchdown or 2 would help. But I agree, Brent. I could see the 49ers doing like not even a free flicker, like a wide receiver pass or like just something because Shanahan will just kind of throw shit at the wall sometimes.
Yeah, but you never know though, because Reed could pull a trick play out of nowhere too from under the McDonald's cheeseburger wrapper. So
good job, guys. I heard the whole thing.
Which, by the way, it's Super Bowl week, and you have these guys doing interviews. Who gives a flying fuck what his favorite fucking cheeseburger is? Do we really care? Like, honestly, out of the 4 of us, do you care what his favorite cheeseburger is?
Not one bit.
Exactly.
This is to Brent's point. It's to Brent's point. Like the NFL is like that, just engulfing being. Like it has to be a week long of interviews. It has to be this. It's just so you can't get. The NFL is 365. Like it's.
Think about this. It has to do a lot with the revenue the host city brings to the table, right? The whole and I've been involved in when it's down here in South Florida. Florida happens a lot. It happens in Miami, right? Vegas has become remnant. You go to California, whether it's LA, whether it's San Francisco, whether it's Santa Clara, whatever the hell it is. That whole week, there's so many parties and so much local revenue infusion from people coming out of town. You got to give these fuckers a lot of different things to do in order to stay at that most expensive hotel. So you got the fucking media day, you got the where they go in and they do the fucking matchup day and all that kind of crap. So it's one of those things that you got to come up with bullshit. There's not enough things in the world to talk about, right? About the game. I think you will get tired of talking about the game over and over again throughout the week, right?
And that's the thing that I talked with Aaron. The NFL is bigger. Like the games are secondary. They really are. The Super Bowl is secondary compared to all the stuff, the things, and then we avoided it a little bit so far with Taylor Swift, but the game is secondary. And that's not just this weekend; it's every weekend. It's so big, it's popular because it's popular. There's more people that watch it for the sake of it being popular than it's not. Like it's just it's such a machine. The NFL is a machine that just rolls and rolls, and you can't get away with it. I'm not saying they should, but there's more people that click on NFL who don't give a fuck than actually watch the games. I don't know. Maybe it's my opinion, but it's just it's a machine. It is.
That's a lot of branding. There's a lot of money involved with sponsorships. It is the event where you spend the most money in advertising, right? In sports.
Yeah, you think on Sunday when it comes through, when Usher's on at halftime, the rating spikes goes up because more people are watching for this or watching for that. When who was it? Was Pink did it a few years ago? Lady Gaga did it a few years ago. The amp goes up for the Super Bowl for halftime.
The only halftime show in recent memories that I can honestly say that I watched its entirety was J-Lo and Shakira.
Oh, well, who didn't?
Before that and after that, I think the last one before that, I think it was when Justin Timberlake fucking removed Janet Jackson's booty. You know what I mean? So
what a day.
But I am like I'm not gonna watch a halftime show. I'm gonna be the halftime show, probably doing something with some other guys and going like 10 minutes and giving my take. We're probably do like a halftime show with some other podcasters, right? Or I'm in the back out there drinking, lighting up a cigar and trying to smoke a cigar in that 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes of the halftime show. I could care less about Usher. I could care less last year about Rihanna. She was pregnant. Fuck, she's not.
They've mastered it though, because it's obviously it's one game, so they can just jam pack. You got a halftime performance. You got like the national anthem's huge. Everything. Like obviously, you try and do this in baseball. There's potential of 7 games. What are they going to do? Like every game is as big as this. Like it just financially wouldn't make sense. But like the NFL just is like Brent says, like it's a train going downhill. Like it's just getting more and more momentum. Like I don't know how much bigger it can get, but you bring Taylor Swift in it, boom! Like it's just it doesn't matter.
They figure it out, right? They are like baseball, who are still behind the times, right? I was glad that they did some changes in the game to make it a little faster. But when it comes to the whole branding of the game in baseball, they're so behind the times. The NBA did it in the 90s with Jordan, in the 80s and stuff like that, and they made it international. But still, the NBA Finals is nowhere near as entertaining, right, as the one game that everybody watches in football. You know what I mean? I think after the World Cup, because I think the World Cup is the most watched the main game, most event. The NFL is number 2. The Super Bowl is number 2. You know what I mean? So they've learned how to market themselves to everybody. It has become international. You know what I mean? International. The Jaguars will be fucking playing in fucking Britain. All right, they'll be playing in the United Kingdom. All right, as their damn team, because they're gonna move.
Brazil,
all right, somewhere.
Brazil, the kickoffs in Brazil next year. Crazy.
All right, guys. Well, listen, did we get to this time of the show where we move towards the completion here? And as you guys know, we like to do something called the Douchebag of the Week. It actually is Jim's Douchebag of the Week. All right. And hold on a second. I have been my producing skills here have been a little off tonight because of the technical difficulties. But we're gonna go with Jim's Douchebag of the Week. I gotta play a video that's gonna lead into Jim's Douchebag of the Week. So let me go ahead and first and foremost, let me start with the intro video because it's hard to do when you're talking. Wait a minute. My bad. My bad. I got so many fucking clips here, bro. It's not even funny. That was my opening for my fantasy show that I do during the season for my league. Here you go. Jim's Douchebag of the Week.
You're a douchebag. 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 You're a douchebag. Douchebag.
And of course, every single time we do this, I gotta give Jim his. I gotta cue him up. So Jim, are you ready? Lock and loaded.
Okay, I'll reload it.
That's impressive.
So, Jibs, who's your douchebag of the week? Just mention it. I'm gonna play the intro leading to this.
Oh God, this fucking whore bag, fucking Mia Khalifa. She just don't fucking stop. God, just take a brajol in your mouth and just shut it already.
She doesn't do that anymore, Jim. She's
Oh please, her OnlyFans says different.
Let me play this video real quick from Mia Khalifa here. Hold on a second. Let me share this. Sorry about that, guys. Go ahead. We got to share this real quick. I got so much shit going on here. Yeah, I got too many. When it's 4 people, it's hard to fucking do this when it's 4 people. All right, let me get to the. Sorry, guys. Let me get to the screen real quick here. And then I got to go to view this shit in tab. It's in my TikTok page, bro. So I mean my. And this is what Mia had to say the other day in comparing her career in OnlyFans to the military. All right, here we go.
Being in the army.
No.
And here we go.
Being in the army is worse than being on OnlyFans. Wow. You're selling your body to the government. Being in the army is worse than being on OnlyFans. Wow. You're selling your body to the government.
What a dumb fucking slut. She is what a piece of work this fucking whore is.
Being in the
guys,
that's concerning.
Yeah,
Jim, go ahead.
Because
take the rate on this one.
Because you're on OnlyFans selling your fucking body, so people pay you to fucking get naked and watch you take fucking dick end on end. Okay? That's all she's known for. She should just shut her fucking trap and just get gangbanged in the back of an alley somewhere in the city. Just fucking stop. Just stop. People sign up for the military to protect their fucking country. This whore has no business even opening her mouth. She's better with nuts banging against her chin. Holy shit, I can't. You gotta take her off the screen, even though she's hot and I would rail her out. Still.
So here's the thing, bro. People go to the military so you're able to get bagged on camera. She doesn't know that, right? If this is freaking a country like probably where her ancestors came from or their family, she would not be able to do this because they get stoned to death. You know, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that part of the world. So
she's disowned by them because she went into porn.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, hey, Mia Khalifa is our douchebag of the week for that stupid take. It is what it is.
And dumb whore of the week.
Well,
She should
the
have.
thing is, I'm not going to say that I don't watch porn. Every once in a while, it kind of comes up there, and you watch.
Yeah, it'll pop up my screen. You know, I'm a happy married man with kids. I
don't know. I don't know how it happens. It just does sometimes. I don't know what. It's one of those things. It pops
magically
up there.
appears sometimes.
Magically appears. Probably my wife's fault. Whatever. I don't know what's going on there. But that was a pretty tough take from Mia Khalifa.
Yeah,
is that her name? I'm more of a Lisa Ann guy myself, but anyway.
Yeah, I'm more of like a Jenna Jameson back in the day before she all looked all fucked up. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know.
Jeez, did she hit a wall? Hey,
oh, fucking hey, bro. That was just like a complete. What the hell happened here? I mean, I guess the drugs do a lot of bad shit to make you look that deteriorated. And this girl's heading the same fucking route. And by the way, I like. I'm not a fan of the fucking eyebrows. That shit fucking freaked me out a little bit. You know what I mean? Her eyebrows are not well maintained.
Her way of thinking, like if she has, like I hate to go that deep with it, but if no pun intended, but if she had a daughter or something, and her daughter was like, "Hey, I'm gonna sign up for the military at 18 years old." No, you're gonna do OnlyFans. Like, what kind of fucking example are you setting? You know what I mean? And then you got that Adam 22 who like lets his girl get banged out by everybody in the business.
Yeah, but his wife.
he's like, I couldn't be happier that she's getting railed by. And she let.
Oh my God.
Like,
They did one where it's him and this other guy, and they're fist pumping each other during it. Who does that? Who?
and he has a kid. They brought a kid into this world. Like,
that's
God!
Talk about a fucked up family.
They should take literally a musket, and trust me, Adam 22's wife's mouth is big enough to fit a whole musket in her mouth. And let
I
Adam
gotta
22
Google this later on tonight. Who is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be that random porn shit that comes out on your screen. That's
I'll give him this. Like, obviously, it's an open relationship to the fullest. Like, it goes both ways, right? Like, that's why she lets him do whatever, so he lets her do whatever. But don't go on there and say like, I'm happy my wife's getting dug out by some guy. Don't make it that. Like, don't go that far. Come on.
Yeah, it's okay that the fucking A train is ramming all up in there. You know what I'm saying, on a nightly basis. You know, more than
Like, whatever you're into. Fine, whatever. But it's odd. It's odd.
It's out there for the world to see.
Like, it's odd.
And what's so sad is that this kid is going to grow up, and somehow someone's going to show. I don't know if they have a son or a daughter. It really doesn't fucking matter. But regardless, someone's going to show them this video. Hey, look, your mom got railed out by like Jason Love. Okay, like, come on. And Brent, if you want, just go on spankbang.com and just search Lena the Plug, and you'll just see her getting railed out.
You guys realize when I go upstairs, I'm probably divorced, eh? Like,
think about this, right?
What are you doing?
He's a big
the episode.
Friday night, Billy Joel said Friday night I crashed your party. Saturday I said I'm sorry. That's what I have right now.
Didn't she say she was asleep with the opposing quarterback on one of the Florida Gators game right now, that he will bang them if they lose the game? You know what I mean? Remember that? Because she's a big Florida Gators fan. That she said that one time a while back. I forget who the quarterback was. Oh man! All right, hey.
There we go.
So here we go. Now we go on to the next one. And I usually, like I said, I got graphics and shit, but my thing's not working today. So we got to go to the dumbass of the week. Let me cue the intro, and I'm gonna have to say who the dumbass are because I usually put it up on the screen. But let's play the intro for the dumbass of the week.
Dumbass, 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 dumbass.
Dumbass.
Where they go ahead and they name the MVP and the fucking defensive player of the year and all that shit. So there was a couple of pretty fucked up ones this year, and I think some people got robbed here. And I promised I wasn't gonna do this, but Jim, I have to. All right. So let's start with the most obvious one. Myles Garrett got defensive player of the year. Let me read some stats. All right. So he had himself a total of 33 tackles, 14 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 1 fumble return, right? No touchdowns, 1 fumble recovery. I'm sorry, no touchdown, right? So no fumble recovery touchdown, and 1 interception. The guy that's finished second had 48 total tackles, 19 sacks, 4 fumbles, 4 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 1 fumble return for a touchdown, and an INT for a touchdown. That's TJ Watts who won second. I don't know, but I think, look, when it comes to that kind of clear shit, I think somebody got it wrong here. And the NFL, again, dumbasses for that particular pick.
And it's the PFF algorithm bullshit and their analytics that led to all this. That's what it is, because they have an algorithm with the pass rush rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that Myles Garrett's rate was better. Yep. And they're also saying, well, Myles Garrett gets double teamed and triple teamed like Mia Khalifa and Lena the Plug, okay? So does TJ Watt. So does Aaron Donald. So does anybody on the Eagles defensive line. So does any pass rusher does, okay? And Parsons, I'll get to Parsons in a minute. But when the stats that the league and everybody tracks, and they're clear cut, TJ Watt was dominant in all of them. And within that algorithm that they have in the pass rush rate, there's another one that intertwines into it. The probability of getting a sack. And that's where TJ Watt is 5% better than Myles Garrett. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Myles Garrett, but the wrong guy won the award.
No, it's a game of inches, but the inches went the wrong side.
PFF pushed the agenda, and the NFL deep-throated it to no end and said, oh, okay, well, if these virgins in a basement like the MLB analytics nerds who create whip, war, this, that, and the third, okay, push that agenda, and Major League Baseball falls to that. The NFL's doing the same thing. So what you're telling me is TJ Watt's not a defensive player of the year. Parsons is telling you he's not even a top 5 pass rusher. Okay, you're a fucking idiot. You play on a 1-star rated team. And Joe Flacco wins comeback player of the year. He played 6 games. Before that, he was at Costco fucking buying industrial-sized pickles for his wife to take up the ass. Come on.
Oh, now that you mentioned,
I loved pickles until that moment you said that, Jim.
Ruined forever.
Fuck pickles.
Now
fuck
I
pickles.
will never have a dill pickle again in my life.
Well, no, I think he was buying the other ones, not dill.
Oh.
Canceled.
Then we're good.
Well, Cleveland Browns fans can cancel me all they want because you've been relevant for 2 30-year spans and you've won 0 Lombardis. So suck a dick, Browns fans. You've been educated by the one and only Long Island prognosticator, the Long Island Nostradamus, fan in the van. Fuck you, Cleveland.
Canceled.
Fuck them. Fuck them all. That whole fucking city is inbred cousin fucking assholes. They're all a bunch of Forrest Gumps running around sleeping with a bunch of Jennies with AIDS. Fuck.
Oh man, don't ruin my favorite movie.
I love that movie.
I did
That's a great movie.
Hot take.
I married a Jenny, so it's like, because of that movie. It's like.
Hopefully it ends better for you.
No, a lot better. Trust me. No, it's much better than Forrest Gump did.
No.
Now that you mentioned Stefanski, right? Stefanski won Coach of the Year. Here's my second nomination for Dumbass Award. The disrespect of D'Amico Ryan is ridiculous. I know they was close. I don't give a fuck how many votes each guy had. But look, I get it. Stefanski did a great job with all the injuries, the quarterback carousel. I had him there. But D'Amico Ryan, the job that he did as a rookie head coach, the job they did drafting that team, I get it. CJ Stroud is that dude, right? But what he did with Nico Collins, which, third-year player, great year, breakout season. I mean, they drafted a guy like, in Tank Dell, like in the second round or whatever the case, the third round. And, I mean, they made it to the playoffs and slapped the team of the Coach of the Year convincingly. The NFL got this one wrong. What do you think, Aaron?
I just pulled it up just to see like the vote total and things like that. I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, as you called him, big balls, Dan Campbell. Like he definitely stepped on his own dick with the playoff game, but for him to get absolutely like bum rushed, I mean, he had 33 votes. These other guys had 160, 165.
He got fucked.
So I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, you talk about a bottom feeder. The Detroit Lions have been nothing but that. He brings a totally different culture. He makes the whole speech about biting off kneecaps and everything else. But it served, like, these players bought in, and, like, to take Detroit one game, I mean, you could argue one quarter away from the Super Bowl, and to get kind of shafted, it doesn't surprise me because it's the Lions, and they always get shafted. But that's a little bit, like, I think he should have been closer. Now, I'm with you. I think D'Amico Ryan's rookie head coach, rookie quarterback. I mean, they obviously they lose in the first round, but no one even expected them to be a playoff team. I think they had the second or first overall pick last year. So yeah, he definitely should have won it. I mean, credit to Stefanski for kind of treading water with like 4 different quarterbacks, but at the end of the day, like I would have gave it to D'Amico Ryan just because you took over an absolute like shithole of a situation.
Fuck
what?
Stefanski. That
That's
guy's
a fair take.
sex offender.
Honestly, I think the NFL absolutely.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And that's a fair take. I think Campbell should have gotten more credit too. I agree.
But not only that, going back to the defensive player of the year, where was Myles Garrett for the last 6 weeks? And where was he in the game that they had to win in the playoffs? He was nowhere to be found like Waldo. Okay, that's 1. 2, Nick Herbig had more multi-sack games in that 6-week span than Myles Garrett had a single sack. But this is who we give defensive player of the year to. This guy. Again, I'm not taking his talent away. So for Browns fans want to whatever, because if you were in this room, I fucking backhand you back to fucking reality. That's one. But these to give Stefanski, I'll give him credit. You know, you treaded water. You had a predator quarterback go down from a fucking hand job injury. Okay. Then you had DTR, who was playing decent, and then he got concussed. Then you had XFL legend PJ Walker, because that's all he'll be is an XFL legend.
Yeah.
And then you have to call the guy at Costco to come save the day. And he played 6 games. And you give him comeback player of the year. DeMar Hamlin last year almost died on the field and managed to come back. Even though he didn't play a lot, he still managed to step foot on the field. Right there, to me, that's who you automatically give it to. Whether he played or not, you just.
I'm sorry, I can't agree with that. Look, I'm happy the guy's alive.
I
had like 1 tackle. You know what I mean? It's like that.
Hey, 1 tackle.
That he 1 tackle. It's what took.
DeMar Hamlin was a fringe player at best before he went down. I'm not saying it was a bad. Like it's like I'm not downplaying what happened.
I mean, neither, dude. A guy's
dude went down. He was a fringe player. He went down, come back, and he played 1 play this year. Who gives a fuck about DeMar Hamlin?
I just don't want to see Browns players win anything because they just don't deserve to.
But Jim, do you not think like, because DeMar Hamlin, he's like a free safety, whatever.
Yeah,
like Flacco has to come in. I mean, yeah, he's played in the league, he's won a Super Bowl, but he's, like you said, he's at Costco. You know, he's probably running his 50 kids around or whatever he's got going on. And then the Browns are like, here's a spot, and boom, they just go on a winning. Like, I get it, man. Trust me.
It's impressive. It's impressive, but
if the Niners, if this situation was flip flop and Flacco was called to the Niners, I'd say, fuck, I hope DeMar Hamlin wins too. But like, based on performance, like the fact that he drugged that team with, like, now he's the fourth quarterback coming in. It's like, I know they have a great defense, but like DeMar Hamlin making the plays he made, like at the end of the day, like, yes, he almost died, and that's great that he came back, but it's like he made 0 impact. Like, I'll put it that way. He made absolutely, like,
if DeMar Hamlin didn't have whatever happened on the field, we would not know who the fuck that guy was.
First of all, DeMar Hamlin would be cut from the team. All right.
Exactly.
That's another. Yeah.
We wouldn't know who DeMar Hamlin was.
I have more tackles than DeMar Hamlin. I didn't play him for my fucking couch. All right, tackling my fucking mirror, falling on my shit. You know what I mean?
It's unfortunate, 100%. But comeback player of the year, fuck off. And stay fucked off. Like, just enough.
Look, I was gonna stop at 2 players, but I like the combo, so I'm gonna keep fucking going with more dumbass of the week. Here's another one. Ready? And I'm gonna give 2 more. We're gonna end the show with the last one. It's gonna be country.
There we go.
But this one for comeback player of the year. What you would call it was Flacco, right? That's the guy comeback. I mean, comeback player was Flacco. The fucking disrespect to Baker Mayfield, who I'm not a fan of, who always bashed him, for him not to be, not to get the fucking award, going through the trials and tribulation he did, right? The previous year, getting a starting job, and I'll be like, dude, I'm gonna give you all these fucking bonuses, make it or break it. I get it. It was a shitty division, but still, one of the greatest quarterbacks, the greatest quarterback in the history of this fucking game. Got that team to the playoffs, won a division, regardless of how much of a shit show the division was, and win a playoff game. I'm gonna get that Flacco over Baker Mayfield. I think they fucked that one up as well.
Baker got farther than Tom Brady did in his last season. All things considered, like,
absolutely, yeah.
And I might be the only one that, like, I think Baker absolutely got shafted by the Browns. Like, the Browns finally make the playoffs with you. Was it back-to-back years, or at least like they were in the divisional round against the Chiefs? And I know Mahomes got hurt, but like, he played well. And like, they had Odell drama, they had this, that, and the third, and they're like, yeah, we're good. And then how's it pan? Deshaun Watson. I love the underdog story. Like, the guy's got an unfair shake in my opinion. Yeah, he's a number 1 overall pick. Maybe he's not that damn good, but he's bounced around. He's won games when they asked him to win games. Like, is he going to be as good as Mahomes? No, hell no. But he's going to give you 150%. And like, there's motherfuckers in the league that could care. They're there for a check. you can see it a mile away. So I tip my cap to Baker. I like what he can bring to the table.
The Browns fucking fucked up. All right, I mean, they listened to Odell Beckham Jr., that fucking piece of shit. They listened to a bunch of other people, and that's why this guy is not in that team anymore. Absolutely, with this team, they would have made the playoffs with Baker because Baker gave them their all. And again, I'm not a Baker fan because that guy should have never been drafted number 1 to begin with, right? But the chip on his shoulder and the work ethic, you got to give it to him, right? You know what I'm saying? He does have that, and he was humbled so bad, right, during the whole thing that at least for comeback player of the year, you know what? I think it should have been him because what he did is a pretty darn good comeback after going to the Panthers, getting released by the Panthers, going to the fucking Rams, having a great-ass game, that one game that got him the starting job with the Bucs pretty much, right, in the comeback. And then being able to do this in this season over Joe Flacco? Absolutely. Come on. He played a full season, and they won a playoff game.
Don't forget, Cleveland wanted an adult quarterback, and they got a predator.
Yeah, well. Yeah, they went from a guy that ran away from the cops to a predator. So, I mean,
There's a reason why Baker Mayfield hasn't stuck with one team. He won a Heisman, and Heisman Trophy winners rarely in the last 10, 15 years haven't really done anything.
Yeah, no.
Baker Mayfield hasn't stuck around for a reason, and I don't know what that reason is. Jim, you might know. E-Man, you might know. Aaron, you might know. I don't.
I could tell you part of it. Part of it is when he came into the league and he started hyping up his own hype and putting Cleveland like up here when they've been a shit show forever. And with his, I woke up and I'm feeling dangerous, dressed up like fucking George Costanza, rolled out of bed to go to his assistant traveling secretary job at the Yankees. That's part of the reason.
So Baker Mayfield, 100%, I agree. Like he's a very, I wouldn't say great. He's a very good quarterback.
He's a competitor. I like the competitive nature.
100%. But there's a reason that we don't know why he hasn't stuck around and gotten that big deal. There's a reason.
Well, he's about to.
Well, put it this way. He's got to get a Geno Smith contract.
Is he going to get it? Because there's a guy coming out of college. I think Williams is going to be a bust, personally.
Yeah,
Williams is going to be a bust.
I think so, too.
I'm a USC guy. But there's guys coming out of college and paying a quarterback, and we talked about before on our show, is that you bring a quarterback in or a Heisman guy in, and they like, okay, they're supposed to be good. Give them $40 million. Well, then what?
You just said
because you have the worst. You have the worst team drafting first overall, and you get another quarterback to come in, and the rest. It's not the quarterbacks aren't bad. It's the resting is bad. And that's been a problem with the situation there. I don't know.
Hey, Brent, name the last USC quarterback that actually was worth a shit in the NFL.
Maybe Carson Palmer.
Maybe you're right, Carson Palmer. He actually, but he wasn't like he's not gonna be a Hall of Famer, right? Yeah, but there hasn't been one that and
Matt Leinart.
He did go to a Super Bowl. Well, Matt
Leinart, Matt Barkley.
You get all Heisman guys that don't do fuck all.
Yeah.
Right.
Lamar, I guess, is the most like nowadays. He won a Heisman. He's the closest. But even, I mean, you see him in the playoffs.
Yeah. All right.
He at least is like stands out.
And here's the last one. Ready, guys? Lamar Jackson got the MVP. Christian McCaffrey got the Offensive Player of the Year. I would reverse this. Christian McCaffrey deserves the fucking MVP. There's a year that a non-quarterback deserves the MVP is this year because you didn't have a quarterback that was like astronomical like Patrick Mahomes, and any of the other quarterbacks that won it in the past. I think Christian McCaffrey should have been your MVP. No disrespect to Lamar. I'm a huge Lamar fan. I know about a lot of Lamar because, like I mentioned this in my show, a lot of the guys that work for me in the city that I work for and stuff like that, which is right next to Pompano, play ball with him. They were. I know his work ethic. He's improved every year. He had a great season, but his numbers were not better than the year that he won he won the MVP, right? The second year, and again, I think Christian McCaffrey was robbing this one as well. I think the NFL got it wrong as well. They might take. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
Listen, 23 touchdowns and 2,000 all-purpose yards. Those are like record-breaking wide receiver numbers.
But you can't really compare them because they're two different positions. But when you look at the output, McCaffrey is clearly the upside winner here. I mean, I'm not taking anything from Lamar at all, but when you look at Lamar's numbers, he's like tied 85th in this and tied 7th in like interceptions and all this other stuff. I mean, an MVP to me leads in every statistical category that there is based on your position. Lamar didn't lead in any of that.
And McCaffrey
does.
Yep.
So, again, we're going with this analytics stat feature now that Pro Football Focus is ramming down everyone's throats that, well, this guy statistically is better in every category.
Like Lisa,
but we're going to give it to this guy instead because for, say, the last 5 years, we've been giving it to quarterbacks. So, what, next year we're going to hand it to Tommy DeVito because he made one hell of a chicken cutlet parm sandwich with Rayo's fucking homemade tomato sauce?
Yep.
Is that what we're doing here? Because if that's the case, this is why nobody watches the NFL award show. And I'll give props to TJ Watt for fucking being the ultimate fucking douchebag. For announcing that, A, he wasn't showing up, and B, announced he wasn't even winning the award an hour before the show even started. NFL award show, get bent over a fucking staircase.
I think this year they got it wrong in a lot of categories. But, hey, it is what it is, man. Welcome to the year.
But they did get it right in one. The Walter Payton Man of the Year. None more deserving than Cam Hayward.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
That's because he's a Steeler. No, I'm just kidding. I'm giving you a hard time.
All right. You guys have like 5 more minutes? You guys want to stay on 5 more minutes? Because we do a fucking goofy category to end the show called the Down the Rabbit Hole. Where
we like goofy here. Yeah, we like
when I play some not viral videos, but some videos that I choose, I think they're funny and fucking relatable. Some of them are, sports related, some are not. We'll do like 3. And we call this going down the rabbit hole. The internet fucking rabbit hole. Hold on a second, but there you go. And we're gonna start with my man, all right? The GOAT Slayer, Eli Manning, the fucking greatest.
Love this
out there, bro.
This.
He went out here. He had a diss track on Tom Brady. You ready? Check it out.
Let's go.
Oh, are you ready? You ready?
Go ahead, Ephesians.
I'm Eli Manning. I'm nice. Tom Brady's the GOAT. Sight! I beat him twice! Hold me back! Hold me back! Hold me back!
Hey, he's hot. So, here's the funny thing, right? You see that guy? You see the dude, the guy over there with the hoodie and shit like that? This is the guy that got famous in this meme right here.
Got famous for nothing. I'm sorry.
Exactly. He's out there. You saw it right at the beginning of at the beginning of the fucking thing. He's out there. Let me go back to Twitter. If you look at the beginning of the,
are you ready?
That's him right there. That's him right there. You see him right there. There we go. There we go. That's that guy right there, bro. Look at that. Hey, the GOAT Slayer, baby. The only man that can honestly say he's 2-0 against Peyton Manning. All right, here's another video here that I'm gonna show up with you guys here. Let me see. Let me go back to this. Hey, Jim, and you guys who are not from New York, you're gonna appreciate this because I took the train for a very long time while I was living over there. Oh shit! I thought I had it here. No, never mind, guys. I deleted that video by accident. Oh fuck.
Great going. Great fucking going. The one with the homeless guy on the blanket.
Yeah, the homeless guy on this fucking train. Yep, on the fucking train going over. God, I can't believe I fucked that one up.
The B, the D, and the 4 going Yankee Stadium from Manhattan.
There we go. It was the A train or something like that. Let me share my. I'm gonna play 2 more. Let me share my. My screen here on my TikTok page here. There you go. Let me cue this bad boy up. This is what happens when in the Super Bowl. Let me bring this up real quick. And I apologize for the technical difficulties here, guys, but view on TikTok. Ready? Check it out.
Super Bowl bow, baby! Again, I gotta make sure my sweetheart's there, though.
Yeah, I think she's our good luck charm.
Just happy for you, Trav, and for our podcast numbers. For all you haters who said we wouldn't be back, guess again! Nothing lasts forever, but this is getting good now. Now that kiss on the field, was that too much PDA?
Trav sure does know how to find a blank space, both on the field and her mouth.
He just grabbed her and kissed her. It is so hot when a man takes charge. It's not always the best idea. That's a kiss that'll screw me up forever.
You got after that like I get after a cheeseburger. I think I saw some tongue.
I use my tongue to eat flies.
Guys, let's bring this back to center. Did you say flights? Can Taylor make it back in time from Tokyo? Okay, so it depends, right? Like, where in this country is Tokyo? I gotta get baby girl back from Japan ASAP. I want to see the pregame fits. I play dress up more than she does. Wait, like dark jeans and Nikes? Woo, with the shirt? Look at these unboosted dads, Brads, and Chads. Because if you don't get yours, you will be dead. Hashtag I. Oh, shots fired, Trav. The real danger is her missing the game. She's got to go straight from the stage to the plane. Look what he made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you just made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do. Look what you
Bring me back a sushi bacon cheeseburger, please.
Dude, I mean, that's a Super Bowl in a nutshell, right? We got to see Brittany fucking Mahomes. We got to see Taylor like about 20 times on screen. Jackson Mahomes, I really don't like that kid, dude. And so I don't want to see him fucking TikToking and doing his shit. You know what I mean? Over and over again. It's just one of those things.
Put me in a room with him for 5 minutes. I'll beat him with a wet fucking hose.
Only in the NFL.
Yeah, it's true. Only in the NFL. We got one more. And now this is a little. We're New Yorkers. This one relates to me a little bit. So honestly, guys, I'm a New Yorker that's been down in Florida for 20 years now, actually.
Super Bowl bow, baby.
And this is the way we pretty much all New Yorkers act when we move down here. We're New Yorkers.
I told you we were gonna move to Florida because of the taxes. Look, we got palm trees. Freaking palm trees. We're New Yorkers. I'm not used to these people saying hello and being nice and not being assholes. We're New Yorkers. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I even got socks with Crocs. We're New Yorkers. I'm not used to Publix. I'm used to Bodega. What is that, a lizard?
We're New Yorkers. Yeah, that's true, dude.
Oh, I love those guys.
I love that.
I don't do lizards either, man. You don't see a lizard in New York, bro. Do you see a lizard in Philly, bro? I mean, maybe in the outskirts and shit, but when you're in Philly,
it's just like New York, rats, you know.
Yeah, rats. I told my wife I don't have a problem with rats and roaches. You know what I mean? You fucking grew up with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Growing up as a kid, but fucking when I see a lizard and a frog over here, I'm fucking running through like I'm in this backyard. Every time it rains, I'm looking around. Where the fucking frog at? You know, it's like I'm ready to go. Oh man, God. Gentlemen, that's how we shut the show down here, man. We appreciate you guys coming on. Please do us a favor, Brent. Tell us where we can find you. Shout out your stuff, what you're doing, what you've been up to lately.
Well, there's a lot.
I know.
The 1420 Sports Bar podcast, 4 Bigger Sports talking a whole lot more everywhere. Like we got, and then 1420 in the morning, and the Umpire Show and stuff, the Yankee Show every Saturday. Thank you very much, E-Man. Thank you very much, Jim, having us around because it's fun. Like what we have here going on with our community here, it's great. And thank you very much for doing it. It's a lot, and I appreciate that you guys know it's a lot, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun that we're doing this.
Appreciate you coming on, man. Aaron, what's up? What you got going on, man? Tell them where they can find you. Shout out your shit. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll be really honest with you guys. I'm not putting in nearly enough work. Brent kind of leads the train. As Jim says, he's the hardest working man in show business. So I got to tip my cap. But yeah, I'm on Twitter at Brutally Honest minus the T. I have constantly it's like an open chair for anybody to come on my show. I have I can't keep a host just like Mia Khalifa can't keep her legs closed. So it's just the way it is right now. And I'm trying to get shows up there myself. Definitely excited for the baseball season and just go forward with that and try and get more shows up there to the public. And I appreciate you guys letting me come on here. I've tried to get on E-Man's show. It's you know, I'm always knocking on the door. It's hard to get on, but I appreciate it, and you know, I look up to you guys as other people in this space that just kick ass. Keep going.
Awesome, brother. Thank you guys for coming on as well. You know, me and Jim are here every other week. I got a weekly show that I do with some other people and stuff like that, and I collaborate with others. So, hey guys, listen, Super Bowl Sunday, it's right around the corner. A couple days. I mean, it's gonna be 10 o'clock. I know we because me and Jim do this like every other week. Cigars is Sport, we usually kill an hour, 2 hours on this shit. So it's like, you know, thank you for being patient. Thank you for joining us. And hey, we will definitely have you on when baseball season starts, okay?
Who wins?
Niners.
I'll say Chiefs.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Hey, I give him credit, man. He's sticking through his guns. He was one of the fucking Niners to win.
I don't want the Niners. I can't pick them. They probably will win, but I can't pick them.
28-25 Niners.
Wow, so that's going to be 53 total. Yeah, you really think it's going to be that high? I mean, look.
I really do. I really do.
Okay. I have a little bit of a slight feeling that it's going to be probably a little throwback to when they play the Bucks because of just the makeup of the team. So we shall see. And I think they don't have as many weapons to pressure the 49ers. So it is what it is, guys. Well, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We appreciate you all. Your boy E-Man from the Outer Joe Sports Talk Podcast, Brent, Aaron, Jim. Peace out, guys. We'll see you next time. You got it, guys. Later.
Cheers, guys.
Yo!